Gentlemen, it is time for another edition of Darts Night on Twitch here at the FODL, the first online league, the FODL. I am your man, Rob, aka Radar, and again, 10 minutes after 8 o'clock, you knew it was Radar in the booth because we're running late, as per usual. Took a hiatus for election night last night. The drinking doesn't stop tonight because we still don't have any results. I got it on in the background. Oh, the presidential race is narrowing in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's been doing that for the last 24-ish hours. So we're going to get back to darts because at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. We're just waiting for votes to be counted or not counted or something to happen, and it's going to take like 5 more days. So we're going to get back to the darting action here with a triple header, FODL A and 2 FODL B matchups. That is beautiful, if I do say so myself. But we are going to get things started off with FODL A between the players you see on your screen. It is going to be the Jig, thrown out of Richmond, Virginia, with those 23-gram Harrow's Dave Chisnell darts. Hashtag getting jiggy with it. Last season, he finished in the 3rd place in the FODL B division, won the promotion playoffs to earn his way up to FODL A. He'll be going up against FODL A veteran, The Author, throwing out of Harrisonburg, Virginia. Last season, finished in 8th place in the FODL A division. Hashtag King Author 180. He's thrown with those 22-gram Data Dart Jockey Wilsons. Maybe. I don't know. Last time he threw with something else, he texted me to let me know. This time he didn't say anything, so I'm assuming he's going with the Data Darts. The only way we'll find out is when we actually see him on the board. But let's take a look at the standings. So 1 week officially completed. A couple players have started their week 2s, or maybe a floating game week. Who knows? We've got a lot of game weeks in the air, a lot of darts in the air, as it were, and we'll check out where these players sit right now. It looks like the Jig is currently in 7th place, and the Author is tied for 7th place. All those players at 10. Very tight division here in FODL A thus far. In that first game week, every match was 5-4, except for the Surgeon losing 6-3 to DeGrubs. As you see, Surgeon currently sitting in last place. What a loser. Going to the schedule here, game week 2, so there we go. Left-hand Hooligan putting it to Dilly Dilly with a 7-2 victory. Nooch and Laser Cat having a tight one, but it is the Nooch that took that one 5-4. 5-4 is the new FODL B 4-4 tie. Haha. Looking at the bonus points for the week put up right now, Dilly's got a 9 mark. Left-hand Hooligan another 4.2. So this is the 2nd week in a row in FODL A that the best MPR cricket leg is posted at 4.2. Good luck. Fewest start leg in 501, Dilly Dilly with an 18. Darter, both left-hand Hooligan and Dilly Dillies through maximums, 180 for the high 501 throw. And the best checkout goes to the Nooch at 96. But again, 4 more matches still to be played here in Game Week 2. All those numbers are potentially tieable or beatable by the players that we have. The players we've got left: Red Rascal, Train, King Raj, DeGrubs, Surgeon, Slinger, and tonight, Jig and Author. Let us look at the stats in cricket. These players are very close. The Jig is 22nd. The Author is 23rd after 1 week played. 2.19 to 2.17 miss percentages, roughly in the same ballpark, 45 to 47. Treble and Bull favoring the Author, though, 17% to 13%, as is the 5 mark. So every time the Author has been able to hit a treble, he's been able to put it together with a 5 mark. That treble and bull percentage is 17%. The 5 mark percentage also 17%. And the 7 mark percentage, 8.3. That's huge. That's huge for the Author, but he's got 0 leg wins so far in cricket. So we got swept in cricket last week. The Jig's got 1 on the board. See the opponent's 3-dart average. Author was up against a 2.76. Woof! In 501, the Author's got about a 5-point advantage after game week 1. So again, not a whole lot to build on, just 1 week to go. But Author's got a 55.56, the Jig 50.59. But the Jig getting off to some better starts. That first 9 just shy of 60 at 59.9, while the Author at 50.8. So his first 9 actually below his 3-dart average, so coming alive late and probably finishing pretty well as well. Jig's got a little bit better in the power scoring department. At least the ton plus is 13 to 9.6. And I'm not going to worry about the legs one because it's only been 1 week. You can figure it out. Going to the split view. There we go. That's what we got for you on the split view screen. It's going to be the Author on the right and the Jig on the left, and our players are ready to go. It was the Author who has won the bull here. So, Jig, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Author, are you ready?
Ready and willing. Here we go.
Both of our players are ready. The 22 viewers out there in the chat are ready. So let's get Darts Night on Twitch going on this election week Wednesday. The author with darts in hand. Game on!
Shoot him well, Jig.
Again, 22 viewers out there. Looks like we got King Raj 10, Physiatra, Zan Mardair, Thai Curry Pizza Slinger 180, Lucier RC, and Congra Darts all in the chat. Slappy Pappy T80 just joining in there as well. Same with Repat 180. Single 20 start things off for the author. Jig's going to attack the top half, and he's going to get 3 20s, close it off, but does not get any points. Conrad Darts asking if there's an election. Well, at least here in the United States, I don't know what they're doing over in across that ocean thing. That ocean thing's not far from me. It's only about 20 minutes drive, but I'm not going to swim across it because that seems like a lot of exercise. And no. Train Photos joining the chat as well. Same with Cali Kid. We'll see Cali Kid a little bit later this evening. Fireman in there as well. Heyo! The author is going to get 2 more 19s, put points on the board after the jig came up empty, but he'll go back up. He's finding the first dart into tops. That's worth 2. He'll find another single for 3 total 20s. That's the jig back out in front as we got a points battle brewing. Again, A division matchup. Going to play all 9 legs. It is not a best of here in the regular season. We play all 9. Each leg is worth 2 points in the standings. That's how we do it. And then the bonus points are worth a point apiece. 2 legs of cricket and then 7 legs of 501. If you're unfamiliar with the game of cricket, close the wedge before your opponent does. You have the ability to score. Each wedge is worth its number. And that's why you see the jig able to get the 80 points. Close all the wedges, have the most points. That's how you win the leg. If nobody has any points or the points are tied, it's just the first player to close all of the segments, wedges, whatever you want to call them. Conrad Hart says, that's funny. The news hasn't mentioned it all day, nonstop at all. Yeah, no kidding. Try living in the country where it's happening. This might be the most, actually, I would say this might be the most news I've watched in a while, but with what's going on with the pandemic, I've been actually pretty good about watching an hour and a half or so of news every day. But it's been on my TV for a solid, 8 hours today. It's a lot. There's a nice treble 18 for the author. He's, once again, within sniffing distance of the jig's point lead. The jig looking to put a stop to that. He'll do it with the first 2 darts. Wanted some more points on the 20s with the 3rd dart, but did not find any. But it does get the close, and author's on the move once again down to the 17s. Slappy Pappy's T80 telling me, that's too much news, Radar. You got to pace yourself. Slappy, I don't want to hear you tell me about pacing yourself because I know what's going to happen while you're watching this match tonight. I know how much and how often and how quickly it's all going to happen. We know it. So don't tell me to pace yourself. You pace yourself tonight out there, Slap Pappy. Stay hydrated. There is a single 17 going to the author. The jig's going to get it closed with a Bizarre World Scooter Dart. That one barely finding the board. Almost found into the surround. Speaking of surround, we know the author has one of the best surrounds in the league. It's custom made by his wife, who also runs the photo store. We'll get to that in a little bit. But I'm wondering what the red ribbon-ish looking thing is. It's probably, I'm going to guess it's some sort of holiday decoration because it's after Halloween and the author is that person. A single 16 for the jig gets poked in, but he had gotten a stray there earlier. Author is going to match, and now he's got 2 16s as well. Jig, however, needs just 1 to get it closed. Oh, and he's going to take all 3 darts, and he's not going to get it. The 3rd dart coming in low as well. It's a miss for the jig. The author has an opportunity now to score on the 16s. He's got it closed, and he will get a 16 with his last dart as well to put 16 on the board. Go back out in front by 9. Jig is going to go after the 16s first before trying to get some points. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off for him. He gets the 16s close, but misses the 3rd dart at the 20s. And the author is going to get the 17s close. He stacked a couple up in the treble 3. He only needed a single for the 17. He needed 2 20s as well. And there is the point changeover as the Jig able to get a single 20. So again, FODL A off to a slow start this evening. Maybe some election hangovers working. Not like I know what that's like. As we're at just 1.6 and 1.5 in the NPRs for our top division. Jig is able to get a single 15 as we crawl towards the finish line, but the author finding a double 15. He's going to put points on the board and get back out in front by 4. Went up for 20s with the last dart to no avail. So Jig still has 20s open. He'll find one, second dart, and he'll stay there with his third and get a what seems like a whopping 2 mark at this point. Author's going to one-up that at least. There's a 4 mark for the author, finding double 15, single 15, and a single 20. So he's 1 now away from closing off the Jig scoring wedge. The Jig's going to point it up here. There's 3 steady darts, maybe starting to settle in a little bit potentially, as is the author. But again, 60 points, that's a huge dart for the author. And he had an opportunity to close off the 20s and take the point lead to the bull, but he missed on his final. Back to the Jig. Great first dart. And he's only going to find the treble. Couldn't get any more with the last 2. Thought after finding the treble to get a pretty sizable point lead. Might switch down with 2 darts in hand, only needing 2 15s. Elected not to. The author looked like he was going to try to start on the 20s this time. Drops down with his second 2 darts, gets 2 15s. The Jig had a dart in hand to close off the 15s and couldn't get it. He only gets 1. The author still with life. But he missed the first dart. He misses the second dart as well, so doesn't get out in front. Is trailing by 6 points, and the Jig will get it closed with his first. And now he's going back for points. He'll get a single 20. But he doesn't get any further. Author looking to make this thing a bull race. He'll do it with the second dart and head to the center where he does not find it. So the author needs 5 and the Jig needs 3. So that 120 that the Jig was able to get in the last turn going to force the author to get an extra bull as he trails by 26. The bull's worth 25 apiece. Author is going to match with a single. So now the Jig needs 2. Author needs 4. And it looks like a matching turn from the Jig. First 2 darts missing and finding it with the third dart, but the author's first dart's in. And author's going to get 2. Inching closer, Jig needs 1, author needs 2, but Jig's at the board with 3 in hand. And he'll find it with the first dart. Game shot and the leg going to the Jig as he is able to find the bull against the throw. Bit of a slow start for both these players, but they're looking to get back on track. Going to the second leg of cricket. Game on! Slappy Pappy said he feels attacked. Just a single 20 from the Jig. That's how the author started out the last leg. Jig got on top on the 20s and pretty much didn't look back. Author's going to get 2 20s, so not quite as efficient as the Jig was in the counter, where the Jig was able to get 3. And there's 6 20s for the Jig. He was looking for the 9 mark to tie the bonus point of Dilly Dilly, but 6 is going to put him up in this leg, which could be more important. Again, legs worth 2 points. Bonus points only worth 1. Slinger updating in the chat. Music City's up 3-1 over Darty South, and Magic Wizard Pinball up over 2-0 over Dr. Feelgood. Cali Kid saying, this is the A division? Oh. SS Bogas. I don't, is that SS Bog AS? I don't know. Thanks for joining the chat, SS Bogas. I'm gonna stick with Bog gas, maybe? Anyone knows any barrels like the new MVG darts, the Target Oracle model? Trying to find a barrel like that, but a little bit more affordable. If King Raj joins the chat, or potentially our resident Englishman Conrad Arts has an answer to that. I don't for you, but it's also the Google. That might help. Deadhead saying, take it we won't be starting at 9 tonight. Well, it's 8:25. Take that for what it's worth. There's 2 19s as the Jig gets the 19s closed. Author's going to close off the 20s, and he's going to get 2 treble 18s. It's a 7 mark for the Author, so he closes off the 20s and gets out in front points by finding 2 trebles. Massive turn, massive swing in this leg going to the Author. Just a single 17 for the Jig as he's got to find a new home, and now it's the Author out in front. The Jig had gotten out in front with that massive 6 mark in the 20s, but the 7 mark 18s giving the Author the advantage now. He is going to elect to point away. He'll find 2 more 18s, now up by 36. Oh, there's a tough bounce out. See ya on the floor. Looks like that one spiked off the back of the dart, so the Jig only able to find a single 17 there. Author, first dart at the 18s, now dropping down. So adding 18 points, getting a single 17. Jig still with the chance down to the bottom half of the board. And he'll sneak that treble 17 in with the last dart. Almost found a double with the second. What was just on the other side of the wire. Heard Kitty meow. So could have been a little distracting. And Author, speaking of distracting, that is a miss for him as he went for points. Jig's back in the treble, and it was just the 3. Wow, that shadow actually was like, oh, is that a 6? But I see now that dart was well high and left. But nonetheless, Jig back out in front, fighting hard on the 17s. The Author now slipping on the 18s as he gets just a single. Jig is going after the 18s. Got the first 2 home. All 3 are going to find the fat part of the wedge, and all of a sudden the Jig has closed the 18s. And once again, it's the Author trailing, having to find another place to score. Going over to 16s, he'll open it up with a single. Again, no points. Jig going over the 16s as well. Whoa, that dart well low, but he gets 2. Dave Little Toaster throwing out to Mr. Bog Gas, saying the McKicks Premium Whites. There's 3 16s from the Author, and he ekes out a narrow point lead once again. Jig back to the 17s. He'll stay for all 3. 51 points scored as he gets all of them into the single. A single 16 as well from the Author. And there's the close from the Jig with his first. He moves over to the 15s. That is in there. That did stay in. It's an awkward deflection angle, but the point goes into that treble 15. You see it right there. I thought it may have been. Was just waiting for a confirmation. So it's a massive 5 mark at this stage in the leg. The Author to the bull gets a single to start. Jig looking to sweep cricket here. Needs 3 bulls. He's got 1, and he'll get a stray 17 in there as well. So inadvertently adding to the point lead. Going to make it harder for the Author to come back here. He'll get a stray 15 with that turn, though. Going to be useful because he will need to close the 17s and 15s at some point. But points are of the essence for the Author at this juncture. Another stray 17 going to the Jig. As all those darts grouped well, but below the bull, below the mark. And the Author goes the inverse, where it's grouped well and all above the target of bullseye. And Jig is going to go up and down, finding another stray 17. So the strays have been pretty nice over on the Jig side. That looks like potentially 2 bulls from the Author, finding 2 in the green bit. It's at least 1. It is 2. That's the second dart is in there as well as the third. Jig needs 2 to finish the leg off, but that time it's going to be a completely empty visit. No strays, no points awarded, and may God have mercy on your soul. Author to work now on pointing in the bull. He'll get a single green bit that's worth 25 up to 259, narrowing the gap a bit. Mind the gap, as they might say, as Congrab might say at least. Or fans of the chive. There's a single, so the jig is 1 dart away. Author needs a big turn in the center. It looks like it's just one. That third dart looks like it clicked just outside the wire into the 19. Jig 3 darts in hand looking for 1. And he'll elect to go for some more points with the last dart. Maybe didn't like the angle that he had with the first 2. Going to leave the door ajar for the author, but he cannot kick it in. A stray 17, it looks like, and a single bull. So inching his way in, knocking politely rather than kicking the door down. Jig looking to put this one away. And that is a miss. So again, can't do it. An author definitely with some life here. That looks like a stray 15 and a single bull again, so he is now within 1 mark of taking the point lead and 1 mark of closing both the 17s and 15s, so some of the strays working now. And the jig is going to go back for points at this juncture, and it is a spray. That is a shotgun of darts. None of them find the mark, and there's a big dart for the author. And it looks like he's going to get the 17s closed with the second dart with the single bull. So jig now pressure on for the 15s. He needs at least 1 more. He will find 2. He gets out in front by the narrowest of margins, just 10 points. Author now looking to get a bull. And that first dart must be in there because he closes up the 15s with the last game shot and the leg going to the author. That first dart so very close, but just in the upper right corner of that bullseye. And he is able to secure it to the third dart at the 15s to level it at 1. And he's going to have darts in hand coming back this one, looking to ride the wave as we move to 501 now. Game on! There's a 61 from the author. And it looks like a 9er from the jig. That moment was just so pure. It looks like a 38 from the author. Narrowly missing the champagne. Almost popping bottles there. Jig after the 9 looks like he's going to stack in a ton. So that'll help that MPR. Or that 3-dart average, since we're now in the 501 portion. As well as the first 9. There's a Yo 11 from the author. If you were of the gambling nature, go ahead and download one of the online casino apps. Pull up roulette, because they don't have craps on there. Because that'd be kind of weird to officiate. There's a nice ton 25 from the jig, rebounding nicely from the 9. And bet it, spin it, win it on Black 11. There's 45 scored from the author. Trailing in this one as the jig has come out firing here in this leg. And we'll get some eye rolls going here in the chat for that one, for that effort. Off the 267. And there's an 85 score for the author, so he gets into the treble bed now. But it's the jig out in front, trying to get to a finish. 45, not enough, but down under 200. Author giving chase. Oh, that's going to be tough to work around. Looks like a 41 was just high and just low of that treble bed. Going to make for a tough target to sneak in between those two. That might be a ton 40. The hard way is the jig finding 2 double 20s and the treble to leave himself 38. So he's on a single dart out. There's an 85 from the author, so he'll get into checkout position at 135, but the jig requires 38. And he's going to split it. There's the 6, now wants double 16. Inside to double 8 next door. And it's going to be a bust, so the jig is going to go back to 38. Author with a chance now from 135. It's on. And it's off now with that one. And he's going to find the treble, too, with his last for 70 scored. Down to 65. Jig back to 38. Once again, he will split it down to double 16. And he'll find the single 8 this time, left with 24. Author, potential 2-dart combo from 65. But that looks like it's just into the treble 10, not the treble 15 that he wanted. Even with 35. Ooh, and that's into the 7 now. He'll have 1 dart at double 14. Obviously not the target that he wanted. Goes inside 14 left. The jig at 24. And he'll find it with the first game shot. And the leg going to the jig. The big scores were there. Almost let that one slip through his fingers as the author gave chase down the stretch, but was able to finish it off eventually on the double 12. The jig with another break of throw as he goes to the darts in hand. Game on! That was a really good sentence, and it was very well constructed. Thank you, I know. And it looks like a little 21 from the jig, so if you are of legal drinking age wherever you happen to reside, enjoying an adult beverage on a lovely Wednesday night such as this, go ahead and take a drink because 21 is the legal drinking age here in the United States where we are based out of. If all of you are wondering what I am drinking, because obviously I am drinking a Southern Tier Brewing Company Pumpkin Nitro Imperial Pumpkin Ale. It's 8.6%, and it's quite delicious and smooth with the nitro. There's a nice 83 from the author as he gets back into the treble bed. Got the next door neighbor treble as well with the treble 1. And Jig's going to answer with an 81 of his own. 30 viewers out there, 31 viewers now. Just added somebody. I don't know who it was. Nightingale saying yuck. Ugh. Don't do this. Don't do this to me, Nightingale. 31 viewers out there. If you're having an adult beverage, what are you drinking? What are you sipping on this evening? There's 43 coming in from the jig. This time the rule's flipping a little bit. It's been a game of breaks so far, so nobody's been able to hold yet. There's a 26 the hard way, so not a breakfast. Take that. At least not yet. Still got a lot of legs to go here. Let's see if we will find one of them. There is a 50 from the jig. That time finding a double 5. Congress says, I've been told you pre-write all your good lines, Radar. That's a lie. That's what they would call fake news. Or what the President of the United States would call facts. Nope. I'm just kidding. We're not going to go. We're going to avoid the political discussions here. 63. As we still wait for, again, we watch them go to the magic wall and talk about the exact same thing they've been talking about for the last 17 hours. There's a solid 60 poured in from the author. It's still just outside checkout range. Jig's trying to get there. 41, not enough. Down to 172. Sloppy Pappy T80 saying he's drinking a Peak IPA. Train Photo says he's drinking a Vodka Mule. Uncle Corky says, go get some LIC fans and mail them to LIC cans and mail them to Kansas. I don't... LIC... Long... I don't know what that is. Author 160. It's on. Oh, he had a shot at the double 20 off the 160 did the author. Looking for the massive finish. Gave it a good run. Over to the jig now, 127. It is off. We will get some eye rolls in for the 127 effort on the jig side. It's going to be 43 scored for him, 84 remaining. Author on tops. Inside now to the Rascal. And the Rascal says yes with the second dart. Game shot and the leg going to the author as the Rascal says yes. And again, we are level at 2 as the breaks continue. Author coming back with darts in hand, looking to buck the trend. Game on! To Grub saying larceny on ice. I don't know what is larceny on ice? What is that? Oh. Why would it say go get some of those cans and mail them to Kansas? Does it come in cans? Or is it like, do they have like a malt beverage thing, like the canned like gin and tonic things? Is that a thing? I don't know. There's an 83 from the author. That much I do know. So he's off to another good start with a 60 and an 83. Jig started off with a speed limit, and he's going to back it up with an 80. He's finding tops with regularity, at least in the scoring portion of the match. So he had that awkward 140 with a treble 20 and 2 double 20s. There's 45 from the author with another first 9 above 60. There's a roadhouse double deuce falling back to earth. Goes the Jig. The author looking for the first hold of the evening. Out in front, there's 41 scored. He'll be down at 272. He gets under 300. There's a 38 as the spray continues on the left side of the board. Missing one outside the range with a scooter dart. Finding one in the 18 as well. There's just 30 from the author, though, so not much punishment applied. Jig still very much in this leg. Looking to close the gap once again. And 60 scored for the Jig. So again, he's down by just 4. Author got off to that hot start, has cooled off a little bit. You hear all the players. That looks like a 7 the hard way. 2 treble 1s and a single. Now the Jig looking to punish, and the Jig will punish with a ton as he gets down into checkout position at 146, surpassing the author back at 235. Excuse me. Author going to score 60. Had a dart potentially to go for the bull on the last to get to an out, but did not. Jig requires 146. It's off. But he will be able to set himself up pretty well here. After 80 scored, had 66. He'll score 95, though, and get down to 51. Author looking to put pressure on back at 175. There's a good cover shot from the author. It's 97, scored down to 78. Jig, however, first shot from 51. That sails high into the 14. Left with 37. And he's going to find double 5. So Jig's not going to get a look at a double here. Looks like he'll leave himself double 5. Author requires 78. Jig tabulating the score using the calculator, left with 1041 scored. The author may have found double 16 there. Looking for double 17. It's a good miss as he went after the double 17 into the 2 because it'll leave him on 32. However, the Jig on a 1-dart finish at 10. First 2 darts are cautious. Got to be aggressive with the third. He is aggressive with the third, but it's a bust into the 12. Back over to the author now. Double 16. And he'll find it with the first dart. Game shot and the leg. And we have our first hold of throw. So maybe now the match is officially on. Usually you say it's not on until the first break, but we haven't had a hold, so maybe now the match is officially on. Author up 3-2. Jig has darts in hand. Game on! There's solid 60 for the Jig. Uncle Corgi says LIC Beer Project is a brewery in Queens. I see. Okay. Makes a little bit more sense now. Jig going to go back-to-back on those 60s, doubling down. Author had gotten started with a 39, looking to catch back up. He'll make up a 45. So Jig looking for his first hold of the match. Just past the halfway point in this one. And there is a breakfast from the Jig. Single 5, single 20, and a single 1. Coming in from the Jig. And as we do here in the FODL, we ask an official breakfast question for the first breakfast thrown of every single match. So the first breakfast question you will be faced with answering this evening. It looks like the author's going to get 81 there. Could be a ton. It is 81. Well, I'll ask this one because it was real life for me this morning. 29 viewers in the chat. What's your go-to hungover breakfast? It's probably been asked 1,000 times, and by that I mean I'm sure I know it has been. But it's hard to think of brand new questions. I'm jealous that Liberty thought of a great one the other night. But that's what I got for you right now. 30 viewers out there, your go-to hangover breakfast. Let me know. Jig's thinking about it. He's hungover as well as he got another breakfast in there. Back to the darts. Author scoring 30. So the pace slowing down a little bit here in this leg. Jig's going to get 59. He'll be left with 150 onto and out. Whoa, scooter dart with the first. And he'll get 65, so he'll salvage the turn, get down to 155, but the jig is first from 150. It is actually still on after that dart. Oh my God, that would have been a crazy way to take out 150, but he misses the bull shot into the 347 left. Good effort from the jig, author from 155. It is off. Oh, there's a dart into the treble 12 for 36. So that's going to be 75 scored from the author. He'll get down to 80. Jig now 47. He'll have 2 for tops. And he'll miss both darts outside. Can't get the combination finish. Author requires 80. He wants to go tops right off the bat. And he'll do it. Pop. Game shot. And the leg to the author. Going tops. Lushy style double finish as he takes the lead now 4-2. Getting another break of throw and taking a 2-leg lead. Author going to have darts in hand as we come back to the board. Game on! King Raj joining the chat saying, give him the B1. DeGrubs saying, Diet Dew. Unfortunately, he only had 1 this morning. Train Photo says, McDonald's hash browns times 3. Not bad. I can dig on that answer. DeGrubs saying, water takes too long as far as the diet, why I went with Diet Dew, and because always. Uncle Corky saying, McDonald's, Coke, and hash browns. Dave Little Toaster, ibuprofen and Gatorade. Then the chat reacting to that finish. Wow. Offer Sex says, Slappy Pappy. Slinger says, nice. Lush throws darts saying, the only way in all caps. DeGrubs 86 saying, he saw Raj's tops, wanted to try it. It's very possible. Looks to be 60 from the jig. Solid. But he's in a bit of a hole here with that 22-26 start. King Raj is going to say McDonald's burritos. There's 85 scored from the author out in front. Magic Wizard Pinball joining the chat saying delicious. Congratulations on the victory. Deadhead 180 said today was leftover Irish stew as is election day tradition. Okay. Train Photo agreeing with King Raj saying burritos. So I guess we'll stack a couple of McDonald's breakfast burritos in with those hash browns times 3 for the train. Slappy Pappy asking for a repeat of the breakfast question. The breakfast question was, what's your go-to hungover breakfast? Something I experienced this morning. And depending on how tonight goes, might experience it again tomorrow. Who knows?
Oh, yes, sir.
And there's a 180 from the jig coming out of nowhere with the steel chair. And he gets into checkout position as the author's on 138, scoring 41, gets under 100, but the jig now an opportunity from 127 after the max. He won't be able to finish it off, but again, looking for a great setup. Has to be cautious with that last dart, but excellent there from the jig as he leaves himself on tops. 180 backed up by an 87 to leave double 20. Author at 97. He will not get a shot at the out. as that is going to be, looks like 34 scored for him, down to 63. Jig on tops, inside to the Rascal, and it looks like that's in the corner of the Rascals. The Rascal says yes as the Jig comes roaring back from out of nowhere. Game shot and the leg to the Jig, getting a break of throw. Once again, if he's able to get his first hold of the evening, we'll be looking at a last leg decider. Can he do it? We'll find out right now. Game on! He'll start with a double one. It's 27. It's not our breakfast. Lush and Deadhead says a Sheet's breakfast burrito is solid and frequent choice. Slappy Pappy T80 saying a Big Mac meal, otherwise known as a number one at McDonald's. That is correct. The chat loving that finish and maximum. Slappy Pappy T86, Train Photo, holy moly. King Raj, dang. Slinger 180, wicked. King Raj saying A is throwing darts this week. Okay. Magic Wizard or Pinball just says nice. Great leg. King Raj saying stanky leg. Gules Echo saying jiggy. There's a 21. So again, take a drink for the 21. Try to keep the chat involved here. 24 scored for the author. As we are, well, we're throwing darts in this leg. We're working our way down. We'll get to checkouts eventually. There's a 45 scored from the author to bump the 3-dart average in this leg up to 30. Author with the 58 going to get a commanding lead out to a 41. .43 scored for the Jig as the struggles continue on the left side. Author with the 58 at least hit 3 decent wedges last time. There's good 3 better darts as it's a 60 with a better grouping, all above that treble bed. Jig looking to find something, maybe a little bit amped up after that finish of the last leg with the maximum, and then the good setup, and then the finish in 2 darts coming out of nowhere. There's a nice 85 as the author gets into the treble bed with his last dart. Gets under 200. The Jig still above 3. Jig had hit another breakfast. So again, 24 viewers out there. If you hadn't answered the breakfast question yet, what's your go-to hangover breakfast? Let me know. Repat wants the last leg decider. And the author's going to pound in a 171. As he was trying to do the math, he debated, I know he debated going for the 180 there just for it. You know he did. Goes for the treble 17 on the last 171, leaves 22. Author looking for double 11. Appears to be inside into the 8 to leave 14. Or it could be in the single 11 to leave 11. And the author will go pop, pop as he missed inside to the 8, but finds double 7. Game shot and the leg to the author, finding 171 and taking it out on the next visit with 22. And he will guarantee himself a match victory with that leg. However, we will play all of them, so we're going to the final leg of this match with the author having darts in hand. Game on! The author picking up right where he left off. It's a ton scored to start. Jig struggled a bit last leg, looking to get back on track. He'll start things off a little bit more steadily this time with a solid 60. That's again the chat going crazy for the big scores. Great shot. Oh, F yeah, says King Raj. Holy SF, says Slappy Pappy T80. Boom, says Lush Throws Darts. Beautiful cleanup, says Slinger. Nice dart, nice drats, says the Train Photo. And the Jig is going to get a ton on the board as they have alternated turns, ton 60 apiece. So they are tied up at 341. Author's going to get 45 to get under 300 at 296. Slappy Pappy T80 says, offer, I love your wife, but also marry me. There's another 60 from the Jig as he gets out in front by just a little bit, by 15 points. But again, still stuff to play for with this last leg. Points on the line in this A division that's going to be very competitive. You'd expect all the way down a solid 60 Whoa, there's loose dart, scooter dart off the board. And the Jig will score 40. So this leg looking more what you would expect from a FODL A leg, competitive all the way down, averages in the 60s. In the scoring portion here, might see him dip once you get down to checkout, depending on who it is. But still very competitive. 43 scored from the Jig. As the players continue to pace themselves, who's going to be able to get to a finish first? 26 for the Author. It's a breakfast for a bogey. Let's get those eye rolls. Let's get them. Get them. They're in there. They're in the chat. They're there. Jig says, this is what I think about your eye rolls. There's a ton scored. Gets under 100. He'll be on a finish. He will be coming back to the board thanks to the Author landing on a bogey. And it's going to be 24 for the Author, so he'll still be above 100 at 141. Jig requires 98. And it's going to be a 38 score for the Jig, now left with 60 Author from 141. Gave a 160 a look earlier this match. Not going to be able to do it here. He'll score 41, leave an even 100. Jig, a 2-dart combo, 60. And it's going to be into the treble of all times that he wanted the treble all leg. And he finds it there for a bust first dart back to the Author on 100. He also... And that's going to be into the 1 for a 79, and it's 40 total scored, so it's a game of 60 now. Back to the Jig. Surprised at seeing the Author go tops earlier. Didn't try to do it there. Maybe he did. Jig trying to sandwich this third dart in between those two into double 20. He cannot do it. 20 scored, and the Author will get a look at 60. He's got 2 at tops. That's inside to the Rascal. And that's into the 5, so potential disaster for the Author. Going to have some cleanup to do if he gets any more attempts. Jig back to tops. And the third dart falls inside into the black part of the 20, fat part of it, 20 left. Author cleanup from 5. Second dart into the 15 for a bust. Back to the Jig, looking for the Rascal. Rascal's been friendly to both players this evening. And that is inside, and it is still into the 10, barely on that wire. So 10 remaining. The Author this time cannot find the single one. It's a first dart bust back to the Jig, double 5. And now both players sitting at 5 have some work to do. Author, and he'll bust the other side. Last time was the 18s. This time's into the 20. Jig requires 5. He gets 3, going now for the Madhouse. And it's a bounce out. See ya on the floor, but he is on a single dart finish now. Author still at 5. And again, the Author struggling to find the 1, busting again. Back to the Jig, requires 2. And now he will find tops next door and throws the frustration dart where he'll find the Madhouse, so it will not count. And the Author, speaking of going mad, has to be getting frustrated on the right side. Cannot find the single one with the first dart once again. And this time the Jig will punish, and he gets the Madhouse checkout. First dart, game shot, and the leg going to the Jig there. And we'll go to the interview portion of the match. And now that the pressure's off, the Author able to connect, but it's too little, too late, as the Jig has already taken the leg. We will go over to the Jig first. Again, we talked a little bit here in the pregame about potentially pre-gaming it, if you know what I mean, due to what's been going on. But a little bit hung over potentially coming into this one. What were your expectations coming into this match, and how do you feel like your performance was?
I wanted 3 legs. I got 4, so I guess I can't be too upset. I don't think either of us played very well. I think that's pretty evident. There were some flashes there with that max, and then the 87 check out, and I hit that 171 and just the double 11 out. So there were some good darts in there, just not a whole lot. For whatever reason, softly or the release point was way earlier. I don't know. I couldn't feel the dart. So that 180 came out of nowhere. I don't know how to do it. That's bonus points. Who cares? Yeah, that's pretty much that's the match.
Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much never know when I'm going to throw 180. It's all pretty much random to me. But there was a pretty good spray of darts. But we'll go back to the cricket. Obviously, that first leg wasn't great for either of you. That second leg, you got out to a lead, but it kind of seemed to be the story of what your match ended up to being was the finishing just really wasn't there for you this evening, where you couldn't get the bullseyes close, and then it kind of translated into 501 where where both of you struggled a little bit on the doubles. Do you think that letting that leg slip out of your hands potentially, affected you going into the 501 portion?
No, I don't think so, because I had a couple starts to legs there that were pretty good. I mean, my overall first time was 51. Obviously, that's not great. That's backed up by a bunch of 20s in there on first starts, and I kind of figured it out later in a couple legs. But no, that cricket leg didn't really affect me. I didn't think I was going to win the first one, and I did. So, and then, yeah, I think we each handed each other legs pretty much all night long is what ended up happening.
Yeah, looking forward into game week 3 after this one. You're going to have, I just looked at it, and then I forgot what it was mid-sentence. It's going to be the Train on tap. So what are you looking forward to out of that one?
Not being hungover and hopefully playing way better. Last time Train and I played in the league, I'm pretty sure he sweat me. So only way to go is up from there. If I take a few of the legs out tonight that I threw, I should be able to get a few off them. Obviously, I'm not even expecting to win that, but I guess what 9-9 on the season. That's better than I thought I'd be at this point. So I'll just take whatever I can get from that one and kind of move on.
We'll see what happens, and I don't think there's any guarantee of not being hungover. So we'll see if that's the case.
When not drinking heavily the day before.
Play. But congratulations, able to make this one competitive this evening, getting 4 against the Author. Jig, good luck the rest of the way.
Hey, good win, Rich. Wish we could say we shot well, but yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. I agree.
And we'll go over now to the Author. We heard, obviously, the chimes and the clocks all going off in the background. There's probably some new ones out there for all the holiday stuff that you've gotten put out already at this point in the year. It's 2020. Normally, I'd be a Grinch about it, but, I mean, I think everybody needs a little bit of an uplift, so you do what you want this year.
Absolutely right.
Able to take home a 5-4 victory this evening. Again, Jig kind of touched on it. Didn't look like your best, but there were certainly flashes of it where we've seen what the Author can do. Talk to us about how you thought your performance was this evening.
It wasn't great. I much like the Jig, I just didn't feel like I had a feel for the dart. I felt like I was just very snatchy all evening, and so or all evening, all the last 40 minutes. It just felt my throat felt janky, and had a couple little moments of decent darts, but in general didn't feel all that great. And then, of course, what else is new? I believe last season, I think aside from my 2 shutouts, when I got swept by the Nooch and King Raj, I'm pretty sure every single match was either won or lost at 5-4. Once again, this season, I'm 2 matches in and 2 5-4 victories. So, would like to kind of increase the wins a little bit, but what are you going to do? So, didn't feel all that great. I think you and I both know why that is. Playing darts, drunk darts last night at 1:30 probably didn't help anything. So
it was closer to 2:15, but yeah.
2:15, whatever. Hey, it was all over as far as I'm concerned. But probably not the greatest thing for my darts today. So, but what are you gonna do? You gotta kind of have a little bit of fun. Like you said, it's 2020, man. We need a little uplift. So, so anyway, so there you have it.
Yeah, if anyone wants any details on that match that the Author and I played last night at about between the hours of 1:30 and 2:30 in the morning. I think we were talking about it a little bit, 7 of 156 on doubles, so that will tell you about the level of alcohol all of us consumed
It was great.
in that one. It was great, but again, potentially could have affected you this evening. But you talk about, last season everything was 5-4. I'm going to quote one of the greatest movies and one of the greatest characters ever of Dom from Fast and Furious. Ask any real racer. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. So you're putting up 2 5-4 victories on the board here in the early goings. When you see that in the first week, everything was 5-4 except for 1-6-3. So that's going to keep you competitive in this league. Does that give you any motivation to continue to, or something to build on going into next week?
Oh, of course. I mean, like Jig said, man, there's nowhere to go but up from here. So the level of play this evening it's not indicative of what I know I can do, what I know the Jig can do. And so, of course, the plan is to just improve on tonight's performance. So I don't know who I have next. The Nooch, maybe? And
that was actually going to be my next question. So Jig said the last time he faced the train, he thinks he got swept. You are going to be playing the Nooch, who swept you last season. So potential redemption on the line in that one. So what's the goal? What do you need to do to get ready for that matchup?
Yeah, I certainly remember that match very well for a number of reasons. Stuff with my family. I was not in a very good headspace that day, and it did not go my way to the tune of 9-0. So in terms of my mental state, I feel way better than I ever did then, and so that's certainly another motivating factor that's gonna kind of take me through this week. So I'm not looking to get swept. I'm looking to win that match. So that'll be my motivation for the week.
Well, Author, we're looking forward to see if you can pull it off. Congratulations on the victory tonight. That much I can say for certain. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thank you, Radar. Great cast as always. And Dan, it was definitely a pleasure.
It was fun. No, I'm laughing about it. So
I'll get you later.
It's a 5-4 victory for the Author. And we've got 2 more matches to go. More darts when we return. But before we get to that, after match 1, don't forget, speaking of the Author, the Nightingale in the chat running our FODL merch store. Don't forget to buy your FODL merch. That's right. We do have the FODL merch store, www.fodartleague.com/store, or you can go to Etsy and search FODL FO Dart League to find it. Buy the merch of your favorite players or dress like your favorite players here in the FODL. Show your FODL pride, FODL fandom out there. 26 viewers. Take a look at the store. Should have new additions coming, I believe, for the fall and winter weather that is coming up. There's a little teaser for you. I don't know if it's been posted or not yet, but hey, go to the store and find out. 2 more matches to go when we return, both out of the FODL B division, FODL Best, if you will. Don't go anywhere. 26 viewers out there. More darts when we return here for Darts Night on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and getting ready to get going for the second cast of tonight's match, rather. 22 viewers, thank you for sticking around. And while you're here, while I got your attention, don't forget the FODL Weekly podcast with your hosts, Pepe Le and Red Rascal. It is out now, streaming wherever you find your podcasts. At least that's what we were told by Red Rascal. It's probably on Spotify, maybe. It seems to be the last place where it uploads. But if you are a podcast listener and you enjoy what's going on in the FODL, the FODL, the first online dart league, the weekly recap show hosted by Pepe Le and Red Rascal. FODL Weekly, look it up. Right into Rascal's mailbag. Do all the stuff that they do. Do it. Do it. Fail of the week. It's good stuff, too. You can hear Slappy Pappy's wonderful voice on there. Who doesn't want to listen to that over and over and over? I could just listen to the MP3s of that and be happy. So the FODL Weekly podcast. But let's get to the second match of the evening. What we got brewing for you in this triple header. It is going to be a FODL B matchup featuring the Lush out of Frederick, Maryland. Last season finished 5th place in the FODL B division. Throwing with the 20-gram Red Dragon Javelin Dart. Say that 5 times fast. Red Dragon Javelin, Red Dragon. Yep, I lost. Hashtag double. He's going up against the Deadhead Darter out of Taberg, New York. Last season finished in 4th place in the FODL B division. Throwing with the 26-gram Design of Dark Thunder Darts. Hashtag rather be golfing. Looking at
this weekend.
Oh, it looks great. I'm planning to get out there myself, probably Saturday. Looking at the FODL B standings, Madhouse has claimed the top spot for the time being as he has completed his Game Week 2 match already. Repat in 2nd, Criminal and Pepe Le all have played 2 matches apiece. So Deadhead currently in 4th place, but again had the match in hand, was tied for 1st with Cali Kid after the first week of the season. The Lush tied for last with DJ Mike Hughes down at the bottom, so looking to make up some ground here. Looking at the schedule again, a couple of Game Week 2 matches have already been played. It was Madhouse 6-2 over Pepe Le, Repat 5-3 over the Criminal, and we have gotten a bonus point for every single category set so far. Repat and the Criminal both staking claim to the highest cricket throw with a 7 mark. The Repat with a 2.93 MPR leg. Criminal throwing a 21 dart 501 leg. Madhouse with a 144 high 501 throw. But it wasn't a checkout. He just threw a 144 in there at some point. And the Criminal with a 116 out. So once again, FODL B putting up some numbers. Nothing to sneeze at by any means. Let's look at the statistics. Again, only 1 week is played, so it's based on 1 week of stats. Deadhead Darter 14th in the league with a 2.38 MPR. The Lush is 25th at a 2.10. Miss percentage, Deadhead got about a 10% advantage there, 37-48. Treble and Bull is the same, though, 18%. So while the Lush was missing a handful of darts, he was making up for it with some good scoring. With the Treble and Bull, Deadhead got the advantage, 12% to 3.4 in the 5 marks. Neither has a 7 or a 9. You see the rest of that. In 501, Deadhead Darter, number 3 overall in the league with a 60.02. So a 60 average, once again being posted in the B division. Last season was left hand. Deadhead Darter's up there now for the time being. Lush is 24th in the league with a 48.59. Deadhead getting off to some great starts, 72.2 average finishes. Roughly the same, but Deadhead out to that great start. As we go to the split view, the Lush is the home player, so he is on the left and Deadhead is on the right. Now, if our players are ready to go, we'll get this thing rocking. Deadhead, you ready?
Yep.
Deadhead's ready. Lush, are you ready?
Yeah.
Lush is ready.
Lush.
Everybody's ready, which means it's time to get this FODL B matchup started. The Lush has darts in hand. Game on!
Shoot all, Deadhead.
Shoot out. Shoot well.
King Raj in the chat already saying, I can't wait for the you assholes. Lush looking to get the good start going. 520s scored, finding that trouble bed with the second dart. We're going to do this again. Pull that up. Boop. Get the refresh. And it looks like just a single 19 for Deadhead Darter. So Lush out to an early lead. Again, it's pretty much the golf season for the most part wrapped up a little bit for Deadhead Darter. He's talking about the weather this weekend looking nice, which it does. There's 3 19s for the Lush as he gets another wedge closed. But he has said that once the golf season ends, that's when the dart practice really revs up. So
Great.
Let's see if it corresponds to some excellent play throughout the season. He obviously got off to a great start there in week 1. There's 3 18s, so he does get the 18s closed. But Lush still leading with the 20s, 19s both closed and 40 points. Lush, after missing the first start at 18, he's going back over to 20s. He'll find 2 of them to add to the point lead, make it 80. Deadhead zeroing in on that 18 wedge. Back-to-back 3-mark turns in the 18, all of them singles. 54 points put up. So got off to the slow start with a single mark on the 19, but trying to make up for it on the 18s. Lush missing inside on the treble with the first dart, missing low with the second dart. So a single 18, single 20 for the Lush as he goes back to the point well with his third. Could be a big dart there from Deadhead. Let's see which way he likes to go. He's going to go aggressively here.
Hey, you asshole.
And there's a treble 18. He goes after the 20s with second and third darts, finding a single 20 there. So he's out in front by 8. Starting to chip away at the Lush's 20 segment. Lush is going back to points, and he's staying there for all 3, but he's only going to get the first one in there. Single 20 scored for the Lush. Back to Deadhead. Deadhead's been all over the 18s. Has not missed a dart at the 18 segment yet. Pounding in a couple more. There's a 3-mark visit from Deadhead Darter. 2 18s, 120. Again, getting out in front in points. Getting a mark into the 20. Inching his way closer to a closure of that segment. Lush second dart is into the 20. The third dart will stay in there as well. 220 scored, so he gets back on top via a very narrow margin. The points battle is on. Deadhead that dart just below the treble, but he does get the 20s closed. Goes back to the 18s. It's his first attempt that he misses at the 18 wedge. 118, 120, 20s are closed, but Lush already got the 19s on backup. And it's an empty visit from the Lush, so he can't do anything with it. Deadhead with the 2-point advantage. He's been aggressive to this point. First dart's a miss, though. Second dart is a miss into the 3 as well. He'll stay on the 19s, get a single, but it's not closed yet, so the miss from the Lush is not punished by Deadhead Darter. Lush come back to the board, still having 19s open. First one is in. And he will stay, try to add to the point lead. He gets 2 of them in there. Can't find the third on target. Still important points there for the Lush to keep Deadhead Darter at bay, at least for the time being. So go back to Deadhead trailing. And I guess 2 18s for Deadhead. Is Discord crashing on me? Potentially. As what has happened? There's a single 19 for the Lush, so apparently both players, I guess my Discord must have gone a little bit haywire here. I'll jump out and try to re-enter the call. See if that will help. And now we're back in there seeing some darts. I don't know what happened. I guess it must have been Discord on my end because both of you guys froze for me, but points keep coming in, and there we are back on top as Deadhead gets a couple in the board. And the point battle rages on as the Lush gets a single 19 to get back out in front by just 2. First starts in the 18 for Deadhead. He's going after the 19s, looking for the close. He'll get it with the third dart this time. So single 18, single 19 for Deadhead Darter. Lush on the move. Going to stay at the bottom half of the board, obviously. Looking for a new place to score. 17s are the target. He'll get 2 of them, but does not get enough. Sir Deathly saying it looked like a Discord crash. Apparently was a Discord crash on my end, but we are back up and running here. There are 3 17s in from Deadhead Darter, so he'll get it closed in front of the Lush. So now he's got a 2-wedge advantage. Lush still looking for somewhere to score. I crack another beverage because apparently I enjoy hangovers and punishing myself for things I've done in a past life. Lush with 2 more 16s again, can't quite get it closed. And Deadhead will close behind. 3 steady single 16s for Deadhead Darter. Does the job. It's not flashy by any means, but again, if you're able to throw 3 singles every single time, 3.0 MPR is going to win you a lot of legs. Speaking of 3 singles, there's 3 single 15s, so the Lush gets himself a possibility of scoring there on the 15s. If Deadhead is unable to close it here, he'll need a treble to do it with the last.
You asshole.
And it's a miss from Deadhead Darter, and the door is open once again for the Lush. But again, with the 15s he's got closed, he needs at least 2 to take the point lead, and he needs to close 18s, 17s, 16s. Well, there's a close of 17s, so a little bit of a loose dart. Don't think it was intentional, but it's going to be useful either way. Finding the double 17, and he gets 2 15s, so he is up on top by 6 now and gets the 17s closed. Back over to Deadhead. Deadhead, the 18s have been his friend in this first leg. And they continue to be here. First dart's in there, and he goes after the 15s with second and third. He'll get 2, putting the pressure on the Lush big time. So Lush trailing by 4 now. Still with work to do to catch up to Deadhead or put some real pressure on. Probably going to need at least 5 to make him think about it. There's a good trouble with the second, though. And he can't find it with the third, but still 4 15s. Will put 60 points on the board. Deadhead is now trailing by 56. So he'll need a little bit more than just 3 18s. Can he find a treble or a double on this visit?
2.
He'll get just 2 for 36 points. Get up to 306. So Lush with a 20-point advantage now. How aggressive does he want to be? He is going after 18s, so the answer is very. And he'll drop back now for extra points after missing with his first dart. That third dart's very close. It does stay above the wire, though. 2 15s in there for the Lush. Deadhead manages a single 18 only, so again, cannot get the job done as far as getting the point lead back, and it's the Lush out in front. There's a big dart from him, closing the 18s with the treble. And he'll close the 16s with his second dart. And all of a sudden, Lush has flipped this leg on its head. He misses the third dart, but still gets Deadhead's scoring abilities shut down. Deadhead going right after the bull. Looks like maybe 2. That third dart's very close. It's at least 1. It is 2. So 2 bulls for Deadhead Darter. Finding himself behind for the first time since the 20s and 19s were closed of the Lush. He had been in command of this leg, but the Lush with some great scoring on the 15s and some great work closing on the 18s and 16s has taken the lead back. There's 30 more points added from the Lush. Back to Deadhead looking to get the center closed so he can start the point barrage potentially. There's a nice bullseye with the third dart as he'll get 2 of them tacked in, adding 25 points to his total. Lush needs 3 in the center to finish the leg. Also has 15s for points. First one's in there. Second's one there. Can he get the hat trick finish? Oh, it deflects down. 2 bulls for the Lush. He is within a single dart of finishing off this leg, Deadhead Darter. He needs 2 to take the point lead. That looks like a bullseye. And it's going to be a finish for the Deadhead Darter. Bullseye and single 15 with the final dart. Game shot and the leg to Deadhead Darter as he battles back in the center of the board, able to get the bullseyes. Got back-to-back bullseye visits, had at least 2 visits at the bull. Each turn he came to the board and finds the single 15 with the last, battling back and getting the win against throw. Deadhead going to have darts in hand for the second leg. Game on!
Shoot well.
You too.
That looks like a 5-mark start from Deadhead Darter this time. So he will match what the Lush did last time with 5 20s. the chat, Slinger keeping up on a bunch of the other scoreboards. And he says, Cali wins 5-3. Doughboys up 4-0. Accountant is up 5-0. Bud the Chud wins 6-2 over the Tungsten Toaster. That, after Toaster's FODL C campaign, maybe a little bit of a shock, but obviously not to Bud the Chud. Bud the Chud, a mainstay in FODL B. Obviously joking around that FODL B is the division that Chud built. There's a nice 4-mark turn from Deadhead Darter. It's 5 that'll count for 4. Single 19, treble 19, single 18. Cuts Lush off at the pass after Lush had gotten 3 19s with his first turn. Lush moves up to 18s where he gets 2 of them. Still Deadhead out in front. Got the 20s closed. Got the 19s closed. Looking to close 18s here. He'll do it with the first 2 darts. He drops down, finding the next door neighbor treble into the 3 of for Deadhead. But still 2 more 18s. Gets another wedge closed. And Lush has to move once again. Sir Deathly saying that was a beautiful finish. Cali Kid saying running late I see. Just finished my match with Barboy. Congratulations on the victory in that one. And of course we're running late. Why wouldn't we be? Of course you're also running early. It's we're not even really running late. It's 9:30. We're certainly threatening to be on time for that 10 p.m. match. There's another 5 mark for Deadhead Darter, especially if he keeps playing this one this way. He'll get that leg finished quickly. 4.0. Again, we talked about FODL A having back-to-back 4.0 plus MPRs for the bonus point. Deadhead Darter trying to put in his own 4.0 plus in this one. There's another wedge close. 16s are done. Moving right over to 15s. And it's a 5-mark turn for Deadhead Darter. 116, 4 15s. And Deadhead 4.2 to the center. Lush thrown with a 2.0. Certainly not bad by any means, but certainly not going to compete with the 4.2. But right now it's just an onslaught. You just kind of sit there on your heels saying, what can I do? Deadhead looking for 3 to finish. He will not be able to take it out on this turn.
Ah, you asshole.
Last time was very tidy on the Bulls, getting at least 2 marks in the center each visit. This time comes up empty on the center, but does get a stray 17 to get some extra points on the board, keep the MPR a little bit higher. Lush is going to get the stray 17s to close it. Deadhead looking for 3 in the middle.
Jesus Christ.
Deadhead back-to-back turns. Cannot find the bullseye. This time it's a stray 20. So again, finding another stray. The MPR plummeting quickly. The bonus point's still certainly in play, though. There's a nice bullseye from the Lush, speaking of bullseyes, with the 3rd dart. As Repat, I believe, was a 2.92. So Deadhead still over 3, looking to button this one up.
Asshole.
And it's just going to be a single. Doesn't look like he got any strays there. So 1 bull for Deadhead Darter. Lush has it closed, so Lush looking to score. Potentially give Deadhead something to think about here. Some tidy stacked darts, but they're not on target. It's a miss for the Lush. Back to Deadhead, now looking for 2.
Come on.
I believe that's another miss. So Deadhead struggling in the middle. That second dart's pretty close. It might be 1, but I think that's low into the 2. It is a 0. No marks scored for Deadhead Darter. Lush now with another bullseye. There are 2 bullseyes for the Lush. It's a 4-bull visit, and he takes the point lead now by 8. Brilliant turn from the Lush. Deadhead now going back to the 20s. There's the first dart into it. Still looking for the center of the board, though.
Bullseye.
And he'll find it with the bullseye finish. Game shot and the leg to Deadhead Darter. Single 20, missed with the second dart, but finds the red bit bullseye to sweep the cricket portion. Going up 2-0 with a brilliant leg of darts there. Struggled a little bit at the end, getting over the finish line, but had
Do well,
bullied
Lush.
the Lush around to get to that point. Lush has darts in hand as we go to the 501 portion. Game on! Repat 180 asking if the 2.93 is still safe. Well, if you saw the finishing number there, that was 2.7, so I'm going to say yes to this point. We still have more matches to play this week. There's a 36 start things off for the Lush. He got into that next door neighbor treble at the treble 5. So King Raj echoing my sentiment thus far. Chatter 9 joining the chat. Congratulations on the victory. Oh, there's a drinking game. Sir Deathly asking if there's a Deadhead drinking game on Chatter 9 asking what it is. Repat 180 says anytime he says you asshole, everybody drinks. All right. Well, he's not going to say it after that turn. It's a ton 40 to start things off for Deadhead Darter. Pounding it into that treble 20. Lush finding next door neighbor treble on the other side this time with 24. So maximum punishment being applied to the Lush as he's finding next door neighbor trebles. Deadhead Darter was finding on target trebles, that 140 to start. Looks like he's close to it with that second dart, but it looks maybe just above for a 41. It is 41 scored for Deadhead. Cali Kid chiming in saying Barboy threw a 3.6. And Bud the Chud threw a 3.65, so Barboy's 3.6 wasn't even good enough. Woohoo, boy. Darts are being thrown in FODL B, ladies and gentlemen, but that's not a surprise because FODL B has consistently been the best division ever since I got relegated back into it. There's 45 scored for Deadhead Darter. He'll get under 300 down to 275. Lush at even 400. He got that 41 with his last visit. 41 scored for him down to 359. Deadhead looking for a big visit here himself to get into checkout position. Gonna need two trebles after that first start. And it's going to be 25 scored for Deadhead Darter, dropping down for the maths. It'll leave 250. Lush trying to catch back up here. Brilliant third dart banging off the flight there. It's 100 scored for the Lush. And that'll get him back into contention here. Deadhead after that 140 certainly slowed down a little bit coming down the stretch. And that might be an 82. It might be a 44. It is an 82, so found the treble with that third on the cover. Down to 168, but again, at that point, there's nowhere Deadhead could go to get to a finish, so no eye rolls there. Lush is not going to get there either. We can eye roll that one a little bit. It's a good score for the Lush from 159. Had he started on 19 maybe and then moved back up, could have gotten to an out. We won't do it. There's a 60 score tidy from Deadhead Darter down to 168. Lush looking to set himself up now from 159. Dave Little Toaster throwing some eye rolls in the chat as well. Accountant wins 6-1 in FODL C. So the Accountant relegated down from B. Imposing his well, and Lush not liking the eye rolls that I gave him, and he throws a breakfast. So we'll get to the breakfast question in the next leg as we're in checkout time. 108 for Deadhead Darter. Will not take it out. Gonna look for the setup here with the last. Looks like he found the treble, so it's 100 scored down to double 4. Leave 8 remaining. The Lush requires 133. And it's off. And there's back-to-back breakfasts in the setup portion of the match for the Lush down to 107. Deadhead Darter requires 8. And all of the darts are outside. No score for Deadhead Darter. Lush requires 107. Looks like he may have gone for the bull there on 107. C18 leaves 89. Treble 3 will leave 80 with one dart in hand. And he'll find the 5, so 75 remaining for the Lush. 32 scored. Deadhead Darter requires 8. And the second dart will bust into the single 18. So Deadhead, again, we saw in that second leg of cricket, struggling to get over the line a little bit here. Lush with an opportunity now. Very doable, 75. And he cannot find the 15 or the treble 15. He scored 12 with the first two. 63 remaining. Goes after the 17 with the last. We'll have 46 if he comes back. Deadhead Darter back to 8. Inside now. New target. Double 2. That's inside to the Madhouse. All around he goes, and it ends up being a bust into the 18. Staying at 8. Lush requires 46. Finds the double 10. Now 26. But it's the Lush. He loves the double-double finish. Will not get it here inside on the 13 and finds a 4. So he will be left with 9 after scoring 37. Deadhead Darter requires 8. And Deadhead is going to bust with the second, slipping into that 13. Lush from 9. It's the 4, now 5. There's the 1 looking for double 2. And he's outside on double 2. Lush has 4 remaining. Double it. Deadhead Darter has 8. Inside. Deadhead looking for double 2 now. And he will find it with the third game shot. And the leg going to Deadhead Darters. He has gone 3 on the bounce, on the skip, on the trot, on the run, on the go. Up 3-0 in this match with another break of throw. Deadhead Darter having darts in hand, coming back to the board. Game on! So Lush was nice enough to throw a couple of breakfasts in that last leg, which means I owe you a breakfast question for the second match of this triple header. As Deadhead gets off to another ton start. And this one's probably been asked too. And by probably, I mean almost indefinitely, because the thought of an original breakfast question at this juncture in time and space seems just completely asinine to me. So what is your 30 viewers out there, your preferred method of cooking bacon? So if you're going to be cooking bacon, what's the preferred method? You like it in the oven? You like it on the stovetop, grilled, smoked, microwave between a couple pieces of paper towels? If you're doing it in the oven, do you do it right on the sheet pan? Do you do it on a rack? I don't know. 30 viewers out there, let me know your preferred method of cooking bacon.
Nuke for about 35 seconds.
And Deadhead Darter is going to go with the microwave, which possibly the worst option. It's all good. You guys, you live your bacon life there, Deadhead Darter. You live it. There's a 43 scored for him, off to a good start. Ton 81 and 43. Lush started off with a 70 and a 41, so both players have found at least one treble to this point. Looks like a solid 60 dumped in by the Lush. Get down to 330, but it's Deadhead out in front thanks to the ton and 81. We're getting some answers real quick in this one. Cali Kid saying frying pan. Train Photo saying oven. King Raj 10 saying the air fryer. Ooh. I don't have an air fryer. I've never used an air fryer, but, I mean, I've had deep fried bacon, and that's quite fantastic, I will say. There's a 45 from the Lush. Slinger 180 saying on a flat top. Cali Kid saying, in addition to the frying pan, that the second batch is better because it has the extra grease from the first one. It certainly cooks faster and a little bit more evenly than the first batch. I'll give you that. That looks like a ton from Deadhead Darter to get down to 134 into checkout position. Gray Horse joining the chat. Thank you for joining. Gray Horse says, don't cook bacon naked. I do it constantly. I do it shirtless all the time. It's not a big deal. 134 left for Deadhead Darter. It's off. First dart missing the treble. Deadhead looking for the setup as Lush is still outside back at 225, but Lush in position to get there potentially on his next visit.
All right, asshole.
And there's a Roadhouse double deuce coming in from Deadhead Darter down to 112. Lush at 225. Potentially some math to do, potentially some trebles to hit. Gonna need to do a little bit of work here now to get there from 225. That looks like it might be a matching Roadhouse. It is, so 22 from the Lush's side. Deadhead Darter requires 112. That might be a treble 5, which would be down to 97. If it's a single 5, it's 107, so it must have been the treble 5. Actually, I have no idea.
Oh, 54, 73.
I think it was the treble 5. So that'll be 88 scored for Deadhead Darter, finding the treble 18 with the last to set up 24. Good math from him there. Lush back at 203. Needing to do some work to put some pressure on Deadhead on a single dart finish. Although we saw Deadhead struggle a little bit in that first leg, so will it happen again? 57 scored from the Lush. Gets down to 146. Deadhead double 12. That's going to be into the 5, so won't be able to complete the out here. Now looking to clean it up, leave himself with a good finish. And he does find the single 3 to leave 16, but the Lush has an opportunity for a big finish, 146. And it's off. We saw this last leg. Lush was able to make a good charge late and keep the pressure on. There's a nice cover shot from the Lush, finding the treble 19 with the final dart. 76 scored down to 70. Deadhead Darter requires 16.
Oh, you fuck.
And Deadhead is going to find the next door neighbor double 16 for a bust. With the third dart, would have been a no score anyway. Lush requires 70. This is into the 6 with the first dart. So he will not get a look at a double here either, but he'll be set up on tops when he comes back after scoring 30. Deadhead requires 16. Inside now, back to double 4. That was the double he couldn't get last time. And he still cannot find it, missing outside here. And Lush is now on a single dart finish, requiring 40. Inside to the Rascal. That's low. Can he correct? He cannot. Did he bust it, though? It's close. Is it going to be a bust back to 40? Or is it 20 scored? It is 20 scored, so it stayed outside. Deadhead Darter requires 8. And it's a no score from Deadhead Darter, all outside. The double 4 giving him fits, just like the first leg back to the Lush double 20. That is just inside on the wire down to double 5. That's a good marker if you can use it. He goes on top of it, stacks it. He'll be left with 10. Deadhead Darter at 8. Inside now to double 2. And that is inside as well. Welcome to the madhouse for Deadhead Darter. Left with 2 remaining. Lush requires double 5. That's inside. He won't be able to take it out. And he'll elect to bust. Go back to 10. Deadhead Darter requires 2. Looking for the double 1. It's the only way out. That's a great marker. The first dart. But it's not utilized as he misses into the 18 to bust with the second. Back to Lush on 10.
First dart.
And he will find it with the first. Game shot. And the leg to the Lush as Deadhead Darter's double trouble continues, and the Lush is able to punish and get a leg on the board. He'll be looking to build off that, make it 2 in a row with darts in hand. Game on! So we will go back. We got some more answers to the breakfast question. We got into checkout areas, so I didn't want to distract the darters. There's an 81 Lush left with 420. Blaze it! Nightingale saying oven, only way to cook bacon. It's not the only way. There's multiple ways to cook it, Nightingale. That's a false statement. There are multiple ways. I gave you a lot of options. Other people have answered other options. It's not the only way. Could be like I don't even know if I could say the title because Disney likes to do things. That show that they have that's a very big hit on their streaming service, This Is the Way. It's not the only way, though. Slappy Pappy T80, frying pan, of course. Repat 180 saying veggie bacon in the microwave. I don't even know how to respond to that. That's
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It's I don't know. Does it stink up the place like when you microwave broccoli? Does that smell that bad? Veggie bacon in the microwave. I feel like Ron Swanson walking through what that episode's of Parks and Rec when they're walking through the health food store in the cheeseburger battle. Like
Nature is amazing.
What is it? What is that? There's 36 from Deadhead Darter. He gets the next door neighbor treble. Lush off to a very nice start. 81-60 for 74 first 9.
Grain and simple. That's what it was.
Lush is finding that out. I remember the name of the other one. It's Food and Stuff, where Ron Swanson buys his meat. There's a 76 scored as Lush continues the treble train.
96, my bad. Okay.
He did not find the champagne breakfast, so he will have to correct that before his next turn. There's an 83, it looks like, from Deadhead Darter, slipping into that 3 on the cover shot, but he does find a treble down to 262. Lush with 76 will be left with 203. Slinger 180 says he won't throw it double 5. He won't. He'll split it every time.
Bonus point.
The bonus point is 144, unless it was beaten in one of the other legs. It's still 144 allegedly.
Fuck. Doesn't matter.
Lush concerning himself with bonus points. I mean,
I didn't know if I should go for the 1080.
I guess he wanted to know if the ton 80 was the bonus, where he would go at the ton 80 to tie it. But does the good math, goes at the treble 17 there with the 83 remaining. But he missed the entire scoring areas. It's just a 120 anyway. 30 scored from Deadhead Darter, leaves him outside checkout position. Lush requires 83. Finds the single 17 down to 66. Bull. He wanted the dart at bull, but he misses it low. It's into the 347 left. But he'll be coming back to the board. Deadhead looking to get to a finish from 232. He'll need a treble to do it now. Not that treble. There's 25 scored. He'll be left with 207. Lush requires 47.
You fucker.
And he'll find the double 7. Wanted the single to leave tops. So 33 now. Oh, things getting sticky on the left side in the double portion this time. Down to 29 after hitting the 4. And we'll be down to 23 after hitting the 6. Goes the Lush. So still on a combination finish down to 23. Deadhead at 207. Get some pressure in there. 57 scored for Deadhead down to 150. Lush requires 23. There's the 7 this time that Lush is able to find. Now looking for double 8. And he will be back to 23, busting inside on single 16. Deadhead Darter requires 150. And it's off.
Oh, you fuck.
And it'll be 24 scored for Deadhead down to 126. Lush requires 23. This time cannot find the single 7. That's a single 16, which leaves 7 remaining. He sneaks that one into the single 3. He'll have 1 dart for double 2. And it's a bust again, so back to 23 goes the Lush. And Deadhead has another shot from 126. And it's off. That second dart's very close to the treble, but it looks like it's just high. Looks to be 58 scored from Deadhead Darter. Down to 68 now. Lush back to 23. Zero in this time again into the 16 first dart. Finds the 3 with the second to double 2. It's inside, so the Lush will be into the madhouse, left with 2 remaining. Deadhead lurking, 68 remaining.
Fuck.
That's a treble 1, just narrowly missing the treble 20. If he'd hit the treble 20, he'd be left with his nemesis double 4 looking for redemption. Instead, he's looking at 65. Looks like he's got the outer ring, got the dart at tops. He can't find it. Deadhead going for the outer ring with the second dart. Left himself tops. Didn't get it. Lush requires 2. First dart's inside for a bust. Driving himself insane on the left side. Back to Deadhead at 40. And he'll find it with the first dart. Game shot. And the leg to Deadhead Darter doing his best Lush impression. As Lush had gotten out to the lead this time, made a little bit of a mess of the doubles, and Deadhead is able to take advantage to make it a 4-1 lead for Deadhead Darter as we go to the 6th leg of the match. Deadhead has darts in hand. Game on! Let's see. Dave Little Toaster says, if this is game week 2, then it's 180. So there must have been a 180 thrown in one of the other matches that happened either also at 9 o'clock
right?
or what?
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, this is 6. My bad. Never mind.
So
Don't mind me.
We do have the update there. It was a 180. Toaster was able to throw a 180 in that second leg, or in the match earlier this evening between him and Bud the Chud. So the bonus is a 180. That looks like an 81 to back things up for Deadhead Darter. Lush gotten off to a good start with 64. Oh, that's a rough deflection, but still, first start in the treble. He'll answer with an 81 of his own, does the Lush. So both players finding a treble 20 in each visit so far. It's just that Deadhead, that first visit, doing more than the Lush did. So maybe equaling things out here. 42 there from Deadhead Darter. He found the treble 1 this time. And it's a 30 scored from the Lush. Slinger 180 saying Wizard, Toaster, and Jig all throwing 180s tonight. So 180s are raining from above this evening. We saw the Jigs here live on stream. Magic Wizard in the FODL D division throwing a maximum. Everything in FODL just getting crazy. And there's a nice ton from the Lush. So this leg, both players coming out firing. Lush with a 69 average, though. Nice. Deadhead, his average is above that at 73, and it's going to continue to climb. Second dart in the treble. It's a ton for Deadhead Darter. Gets him down to 110 as he gets into checkout position after 15. Lush can do the same. Trying to get into a checkout after 15 darts as well. 45 scored for the Lush. Not enough to do it. Even if he had found a single 20, wouldn't have been enough. Deadhead requires 110. Can't take out the ton plus finish here. Now just playing the setup game.
There you asshole.
And he'll be left with 64. Lush at 181, looking for the finish.
46.
46 scored. There is a 41 from the Lush. He'll be left with 140. Deadhead Darter requires 64. One dart for double 16.
Ah, you asshole.
And he misses it. Can't find the double 16. Looking for the 21 darter, although I believe Toaster had a 20. So that's been updated in the spreadsheet as well. Lush 140 is off. Still looking to put chase to Deadhead Darter. The cover shot is a good one into the treble 19, so I think it's 82. 82 scored. Lush is down to 58. Deadhead Darter requires 32. That's inside now to double 8. And it's going to be a bust with the second dart. Deadhead Darter finding the single 16 twice. Not good enough. Lush now requires 58. Finds the double 18. So Lush looking to go double-double here. If he can find the right double. Taking his time doing the math. It was double 11, but that misses inside. But he finds the 3 to clean it up to leave himself 8. 50 scored. Back to Deadhead. Single dart. Double 16. 3 attempts at it. But he only needs the single dart. It looks like game shot and the leg to Deadhead Darter as he cleans up the double 16 on this turn, pinging it in the middle of that double bed, going up 5-1, securing himself a match victory. But just choking on my own spit. Securing the match victory, but we still have 2 legs to play with points on the line. Lush with darts in hand. Game on. Good start for the Lush. First dart buried into that treble 20. But cannot follow it. Just 62 scored for the Lush. Sir Deathly saying drink. Yota JV throwing out the dead dilly emotes. That's appropriate. Slinger 180 saying swallow radar swallow. Don't you worry about that. I always do. Hashtag spitters are quitters. There's 55 speed limit from Deadhead Darter. There's a 41 getting dumped in from the Lush as we are off and running. So again, Deadhead got off to that great start in game week 1 with a 7-1 victory. Lush was on the opposite side of a 7-1 loss. Looking to avoid the same fate. There's still 2 legs in the balance here. So Lush looking to get it's still early in the FODL B season, but if he's able to pick up both of these final 2 legs, could go a long way in the always tight FODL B division. I believe last season, the difference between somebody in the playoffs and somebody being relegated was only about 10 points, which is 5 legs over the entire season. So again, critical legs at every juncture. Every leg counts. Lush getting 28 there, just narrowly missing that treble 20 into that treble 1. Deadhead's off to a pretty good start here, though. Speed limit 70, 74. Down to 302. He'll find 60 from there, get down to 242. Lush is at 310. It's a great salvaging third dart from the Lush, scoring 70. He'll get down to 240 now. Deadhead out in front against the darts here.
You asshole.
Everybody drink.
How about a 5?
Oh, hey!
Oh, no. How about
There's a
3?
3 scored from Deadhead Darter. Get him going here in the chat. 3. Just 3. happened there? There's a 7 scored, so, maximum punishment being doled out from the Lush, upping the Deadhead Darter's total by 4. It's more than double. Deadhead may have found the treble 19 with his first, so that could be that looks like a 78 from Deadhead Darter. He'll get down to 161. Lush looking to do some work here from 233. He'll find tops with the last, so 50 scored, under 200 down to 183, but Deadhead requires 161. It's off, but Deadhead looking for a good setup. Oh, did that third dart get in the treble bet or not? It's either an 81 or a ton 21. It's so close. If it's a ton 21, it is a ton 21 for Deadhead Darter, and what a setup. It leaves him on tops, and he will be coming back, but Lush going to pressure it immediately. First dart is into that treble 20. How low will the Lush go? Looks like maybe an 81. It's a 66 for the Lush down to 117. Deadhead requires double 20. Inside now to the Rascal.
Third dart.
And he will get it with the third. The Rascal says yes. Game shot. And the leg going to Deadhead Darter, going up 6-1 now over the Lush as we head to the final leg of this match. Deadhead Darter will have darts in hand. Game on. Yota JMU throwing out three facepalm biddies for that 3 scored from Deadhead, so appreciate the bits anyway, Yota JMU. Deadhead looking to make his imprint here in the early goings in the B Division Fall 2020 season. I mean, either way, going to be near or at the top of the standings. Whether this one goes 6-2 or 7-1 after he went 7-1 his opening week. Obviously, his standard has dropped a little bit. We talked about the averages. His 3-dart average into the 5-1 portion was 60. Although it hasn't necessarily been the scoring that's let Deadhead down in this match. It's been the doubling. He has gotten there and has just not been able to get over the line, which has really punished the average down to the 48. Lush has been battling, and it's just been a little bit he's run into some bad luck. The legs that Deadhead has thrown, that the Lush has thrown well, have also been the legs that Deadhead has thrown well. The one leg that the Lush did win was a dominating leg from the Lush. He came out and scored heavily. He's had a couple legs that way, but Deadhead has been there as well. Both players struggling on the outer ring this evening, and that's been the difference in this match, as it usually is. There's a nice 85 from Deadhead Darter, off to another 70-plus first 9.
Damn it.
And the Lush gives the maximum a run. 140 scored from the Lush as the sweat was on for what would have been the 4th maximum tonight in the FODL. So we had one in the D division, we had one in the B division, and one in the A division. 180s raining from the sky. Lush was looking to join the party and grasp a bonus point out of the air, but couldn't do it. The third dart sailing high. Took a pause, maybe psyched himself out a little bit instead of maybe staying a little bit more in rhythm and just getting up and firing that third dart. But the first 2 were placed perfectly, and the ton 40 score gets him right back in contention of this leg. Deadhead Darter 226 with a 69 3-dart average for this leg. Nice. However, that turned not so nice as he's unable to get into checkout position from it, down to 191. Lush, if he can find a big treble, can get to a finish first. He'll try for the cover shot on the 19s, miss into the 3. 43 scored for the Lush, down to 212. Deadhead looking for a setup from 191. Sir Deathly throwing 100 bits out there, saying it's just for darts. Sir Deathly, thank you very much for the bit donation. The darts are why we are here. The darts are fantastic. They're going well, and there's a 166 left for Deadhead. That's a bogey. So again, nobody yet on a finish. Lush can be the first one to get there now. Slappy Pappy was rooting for the maximum from the Lush, saying, damn it, Lush. Damn it. Wanted it. There's a 152 remaining after 60 scored. So Lush is the first one to a finish. Deadhead looking to pressure from 166. That's a tough dart to work around. Let's see if he tries to shift on the Aki or if it just goes to a different target. He does go after the 18s, missing into the 444 scored for Deadhead Darter down to 122. Lush, first attempt at a double, 152. It is off. So Lush looking to stay out in front now. Potentially force Deadhead to take out a big finish as he puts the pressure on. It's going to be 44 scored, so Lush is back out in front down to 108, but Deadhead now at 122. It is off again, missing low into the 4 off the 18s. Deadhead was all over the 18s in cricket, not showing up for him tonight here in 501 as he misses low back-to-back visits at the 18. Just 25 scored as he gets down only to 97. Lush requires 108. Single 20, trying to figure out his target, staying there. Couldn't find the treble, goes next door. So now left with 85. He finds a single 15s, 38 scored, down to 70. Deadhead Darter requires 97. Go to JMU. The criminal himself has joined the chat. He's throwing in eye rolls for that one.
50 would be...
Deadhead may have found the treble 16 off of that one.
Oh, you asshole.
Oh, and that's going to find the double 17. So things getting dicey here. So after the treble 16 was down to 49, wanted the single 17 for the double 16, found the double
So
17.
48 and 24 is what?
Well, that's 48 and 34.
Oh, fuck, I did my whole math wrong. Well, you got 34 and 7 is 51.
41. 41 and 48 is 89.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, okay, I knew what I was doing.
Lush requires 70. Into the 10. 60 left. Cannot find the big 20. That looks to be into the 18 as well. So he's got... Whoa, that dart's well outside. Had 42 left. Looking for that 6-10 split. He'll be left with 42 after missing outside. Deadhead Darter, again. Can he find redemption on double 4?
Second.
He can. He finds it this time with the second dart. Game shot and the leg to Deadhead Darter as he finally finds double 4. Had been giving him fits all evening. Probably missed 15 attempts at double 4 previously in this match, but he's able to take it out on the second dart to secure a victory 7-1. As we will go to the interview portions of tonight's match. We'll go to the Lush first. Lush, obviously not the start you were looking for your FODL B season this evening. The darts looked like they were coming out a little bit better than they were last week, getting a little bit more comfortable in the space with the framed board, or what's happening with the darts this evening as far as what's going on with your throw and the performance in your bar league versus this league.
I have no idea. Literally last night I threw like mid 50s. I threw 2 matches actually. I threw it wasn't good. I had a bucket per game. But yeah, no, I threw really great last night. I think I only dropped like 5 legs total out of the 22. And it was high quality play, and I felt really good, felt very drunk. Maybe that's the issue. But I just did not want to drink after that last night. So I had one natty bow, and that's been it. So maybe that's the difference. I don't know, but yeah, I just a lot of loose darts, awful math, awful setup play, awful everything. Traveled a little bit better tonight than I did last week, so there's that. But I mean, it's just I don't know. At this point, especially 2 games in, I'm just trying to hold on to B this season because I'm just I'm not practicing. I'm playing in person, and that's about it. Just don't really have the time for it, or just I don't know, just kind of in a funk. So it is what it is. Not take anything away from Deadhead though. He threw a really good game, save for those doubles. But we've seen him hit them before, and I'm sure that he'll come back next week and be almost perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we saw flashes of it from you this evening. Obviously, you had essentially 2 180 sweats. The one you did the good math, dropping down to 17s. It wasn't necessarily a great dart, but that was a good instance of good math, and you had thrown 2 good ones before that, and then you had the other sweat later on where you threw the 140. We see the flashes. Again, I talked about it a little bit in that last leg. The couple of better legs that you threw in 501 were the legs that he was actually able to get over the line and not give you the opportunities. So what's the drop-off there between the legs that you battled back and came back at the end to give yourself at least a couple looks at double versus the ones where you were, neck and neck putting the pressure on?
I don't know. Especially once we get to 501, I don't think about playing my opponent at all. It's just about rhythm and you're playing the board. And to that end, Deadhead and a couple of the other guys in the league, they're my kryptonite, and that I just have a harder time getting a rhythm. And I did feel a little bit more comfortable playing a little bit slower tonight, like really kind of setting up my my approach to the Yaki before I came up, but still just a little bit too inconsistent. And the other thing, like this, I've had to be more on cricket than anything else, but I just kind of realized I need to just put everything on Do Not Disturb when I'm playing, because I had like my iPad blowing up because it wasn't charging. I had was getting notifications and stuff, and work, Zoom, and text, and just like everything was all coming through. I just couldn't focus with the cast on top of it all. So next week, definitely be throwing stuff on Do Not Disturb just so I can dial in, because that definitely, played a little bit of a factor where I'd kind of, get halfway in and then like I'd pull my first dart and then get a notification. I would like look away or something. And for me, I noticed this about myself. Like I'm a way better shot when I'm looking at my target and then get my stance set up and just do that without breaking eye contact. So I did that a little bit too much tonight. Again, just not in the right mental space. It is what it is. But in terms of, when we were playing close or whatever, I'm really just trying to, focus on just giving myself a shot. And, it's frustrating, but that's darts. I mean, you're always going to have legs like that. Even when you're throwing well, your opponent's going to throw well. So at the end of the day, especially 501, if you're throwing first, you should be winning. And it's a game of minimizing your mistakes, and I made a lot of mistakes tonight.
I did want to ask about that because we saw that difference from last night, or from last week rather, to tonight. The pace from you seemed a little bit more deliberate. You talked about that in your interview last night. So was that a point of emphasis to make sure that you slowed yourself down and gave yourself that breath every turn?
And to a degree, again, it's like I can't get in a rhythm. Just especially, I don't know, maybe part of it's being on webcam versus being in person. I don't know, but like it's just a lot harder for me to get in a rhythm where, again, like I want to just be playing myself. So what I kind of did was, whereas normally when I play some of the other people in FODL who again have a faster pace, I get my darts and I'm right back at the Yaki immediately. If I know that there's going to be some gap time and I'm going to be waiting on my opponent to throw all 3 darts, then I just try to tell myself, like, all right, don't even like set up, just kind of stay in. That's essentially what I do at the bar. Like, again, because you're like on a single Aki, so when your opponent's throwing, you can't be set up. So I try to emulate that as much as I can. Just take a step back, drink the beer, just like wait. Honestly, just wait for his score to come up in dart connect, just so I know, like, all right, I have green light. And then I go through my, my setup, setting up my target and everything else. So yeah, it's just kind of, depending on who I play, I'm getting a feeling for most of the players in the league at this point. So I just kind of knew that that's the way I'm going to have to throw in order to get myself closer to where I should be. But still definitely a lot of room to improve.
Well, looking forward to next week where you're going to be looking to improve and get your fall 2020 season back on track. You're going to have yours truly in Gameweek 3, so you'll be playing me. What is
so we're doing shots before the game, right?
What?
Lining up shots before the game, right?
It depends on what night we play and my work schedule because I'm beyond midnight shift, so I can't really drink before that. But
oh, we can do morning drinking. I'm fine with that.
All right, that's fine. What's the game plan? What do you need to work on to get ready for that one?
I don't know. Again, same. Honestly, it's just like, I just need to decide if I actually want to win or not. Because I haven't been practicing. I haven't been doing anything. So if I want to work on something, then maybe I will. But I don't know. My work schedule is nuts right now. I don't have a ton of time. I should probably be taking more breaks just to throw a little bit. But I don't know. I just haven't really wanted to. So we'll see. I don't know. Like there's, if I want to prepare, then work on doubles, work on math, and work on scoring, and just try and fix my throw in here. But probably you're going to be looking at another 7-1 game. So congrats to you in advance.
We will see. You also thought that last season, and then you ended up coming out and throwing one of your better matches, and we ended up splitting 4-4 because that's what happens at FODL B. But Lush, good luck the rest of the way, except for next week, of course, because I'm always going to say that when you're going against me. But we'll see you a little bit later. Hope everything at work calms down a little bit and gets, if nothing else, not for more time on the Aki, just for more time for some brain relaxation for you. Good luck the rest of the way.
Sounds good. Thanks, Radar. Great game, Deadhead.
Good job, Lush.
We'll go over to Deadhead. Deadhead coming out with a 7-1 victory tonight. May feel a little bit bittersweet. Again, came in with an outstanding first week performance. This week, the doubles kind of left you, and last season you were one of the more consistent players on double all season. So what was the difference and the disconnect once you got down to finishing time?
I don't know. Before the match, I was hitting doubles pretty good. I don't know what happened. Just comes down to being on the stream, I guess, and I dread it every week. So, yeah. Like Al says, just win, baby. It don't matter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are back, and you ready for the turbo intros? Because here come the turbo intros. It's another FODL B matchup for our final matchup of the night. We were running way behind. It's going to be between Cali Kid from Sacramento, California. Last season finished 9th at FODL B, throwing 24-gram Harrow's Blue Groove Sonic, # California Dreamin'. He's going up against Tungsten Toaster out of Detroit, Michigan. Last season finished first place in the FODL C division, earning auto promotion up to FODL B, throwing 21-gram Target Rob Cross Gen 1, # not a bat toy. Looking at the standings as we show it right now. Oh, that switched on me. Okay, we're going to skip the standings, I guess. That's stupid. It reset everything on me. We'll come back to the standings maybe a little bit later. Game week 2, what we're showing right now. This is going to be the floating game week, I believe, actually. So this one's not even going to be in effect. We'll skip that as well. Going to the statistics, Cali Kid 15th in MPR, Cricket 2.35, Tungsten Toaster 17th in Cricket 2.29, 501, Cali Kid 14th, 52.74, Tungsten Toaster 49.87, good enough for 21st. Go to split view. We got our Cali Kid on the left as a home player. Tungsten Toaster is on the right as the visiting player. B division, 8 legs, 2 Cricket, 6501. If our players are ready to go, we'll get it underway. Tungsten Toaster, are you ready?
Sir.
Cali Kid, are you ready?
Ready.
Everyone's ready. It's late night darts here at Darts Night on Twitch. Cali Kid with darts in hand. Game on.
Bravo, Radar. Bravo. Yeah, nice work. Do well, Cali.
You as well. 320.
It's going to be 320 start things off for the Cali Kid, getting things going here in cricket. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for whatever happened there. Looked like OBS completely crashed on me. So it's working lovely, as they would say. Downloaded it. It had a new update right before our cast started, which I downloaded. And I was like, okay, great, because we had been having some other non-crashing related issues. As it's back-to-back 5 marks, Tungsten Toaster goes 5 19s. Cali Kid comes back and answers with 5 20s, get 100 points on the board. Tungsten Toaster's right back in the trouble bed. And that's 9 19s for the Tungsten Toaster. He threw a maximum earlier this evening for Game Week 2, and now he pours in a 9 mark in the 19s. Tungsten Toaster failing it. Cali Kid coming back. Looks like 2 20s for 140 points. He's got 3.3, but right now Tungsten Toaster, after that 9 mark, 7.0 MPR. Ugh. Slappy Pappy out there is having a seizure. Single 20 coming in for Tungsten Toaster. POTUS94 saying, nice toaster. So he's in the chat, sir, definitely. Asking if I took a breath. I don't need a breath. Breathing is for losers. There's 4 20s. Blaze it, and his single 19 for Cali Kid as he gets back out in front. And we're off to a hot start here in this cricket leg.
Kona, stop it.
There are 2 19s for Tungsten Toaster. Point battle going on here in the early going. 4.3 for Toaster, 3.8 for Cali Kid. Cali's going to get 2 20s, drop down to 19s, but he misses, so just the 2 20s. So again, apologies. I downloaded the new update for the Streamlabs OBS that we're using. I've never had issues with it before, and since downloading that, it has crashed twice on me this evening. So that new update, working really well. Gotta say that right now. There's a single 20 for Cali Kid getting back out in front. Toaster's got the single 19. Now he's going up attacking the 20 wedge. Whoa! There's a stray 18, but he can't get the 20s closed, so Cali's going to have another opportunity. And who knows? That stray 18 could come in handy for Tungsten Toaster, depending on what happens here. Cali's going to get 2 more 20s, so he will put more points on the board. Force Tungsten Toaster back to the 19 well. Looks like the first 2 19s are in, and the 20 lands as well. 3 marks for the Tungsten Toaster. Gets the 20s closed, and 2 19s. Cali Kid now on the move, but it's Toaster who has the stray all over there already. But Cali Kid is going to close it up immediately. There's a 4 mark in the 18s, and right back to the point battle we go.
Oof.
And Toaster may have found a double 19. He did, so he pulls it down to show it's in there. 2 19s, a double with the last, and Tungsten Toaster gets back on top. Chatterer9 saying slow down so he can keep his bonus point. Chatterer9, this is not a Game Week 2 match. This is actually a floating Game Week match. I don't know if you've played yours there or not. There's a nice 5 mark from Cali Kid, so the pace continues. Treble 18 to get back out in front and gets the 19s closed with 2 of them, but Toaster opens the 17s up immediately with a 4 mark. Will not budge. So we continue to go back and forth at a great level of play. Cali Kid again in the treble. Treble 17, moving over to the 16s where he finds a single, so he matches with another 4 mark, getting the 17s closed and starting to work on the 16s. Toaster now jumping over to the left half of the board, getting 2 16s, so the first time in a while for both players without a treble on the visit. Cali looking to get it closed. He only manages a single 16, though, so the door's still open for the Toaster on the right side of the screen. But he's going to need a treble to get the point lead. He can't get it. Single 16 with the last dart. Gets the wedge closed, but does not do anything beyond that. Cali now looking for the close. And it's going to come down to the third dart, but he regroups and finds it with his last. So closes off the 16s, shuts Toaster down at the pass. Tungsten Toaster now relegated over to the 15s, and that's going to be an open visit. Miss from Toaster. Oh, Cali looking to go to work here. It looks like he got 2, maybe he got 4. That last dart's outside the double, so 2 15s on the left side for Cali Kid. Toaster. And had that 9 mark, got off to a great start. Both these players got off to a great start. Looks like 3 15s finding the double there. So gets it closed but can't get points on the board. Cali Kid's going to close it with the first dart. Not messing around, going right to the bull. He misses on both darts with the attempt at the center, though. So gets the 15s closed. But Can't find the center of the board. Tungsten Toaster looking to get it going. And there's a bullseye. Third dart to get 2 in there. And Cali Kid now going to go back for more points, and he is going to find a punishing treble 18 with his second dart. Drops back in for the bull with his last, but does not get it.
David.
And there's an empty turn again from the Toaster. Feeling this one maybe slip out of his grasp. Cali Kid looking for the finish right here. There's a nice bullseye. Can he find another one? He cannot. 2 bulls for Cali Kid off that bullseye second dart. Now the pressure certainly on the right side of the board. Must put pressure on the Cali Kid here. And Toaster not able to do it. Cali Kid 3 clean darts for the leg.
Got it.
And he'll get it with the first game shot. And the leg to Cali Kid as he goes up 1-0, unfazed by the Toaster's 9 mark early in the leg. Battles back. Both players over 3.0 for the majority of that leg. Cali Kid finishing with a 2.7. Tungsten Toaster going to start things off for this second leg. Game on! Deadhead saying he couldn't score the 8 out. Still shows 6-1. Maybe Lush be able to force close it or something on being the home player. There's 420s blazing it from the Tungsten Toaster. I'd have expected that more from Cali Kid for them to be blazing it, but I don't know. I mean, based on the Toaster's picture, it looks like he likes to party, so maybe. There's 2 19s, a little slop 16 for Cali. Sure, Deathly saying, man, I love this league. We love you too, Sir Deathly. Thank you for joining us. DJ Mike Hughes showing that love by gifting a tier 1 sub to Sir Deathly, gifting 7 subs in the channel. Thank you, DJ Mike Hughes. There's 4 19s, so back-to-back 4 marks again for Tungsten Toaster, off to a magnificent start. There are 3 steady 18s for the Cali Kid, all around that treble, but could not find any in the treble. And Toaster's going to switch back over to 20s with his last dart. Gets 1 and 1. So single 20, single 18. And Cali's going to get on the point board as he gets 2. So we'll have to see what we need to do with the last match. Probably have to happen on the Lush's side. Maybe he can go in and hit the control the match button or something and close it out. There's 2 18s from Toaster, single 17. Cali Kid's working on the 17s, and he'll find 7 of them. Had the 9 mark sweat himself, and that third dart gave it a good shot. It is just above, but 7 17s for Cali Kid puts him right back in this leg. Tungsten Toaster forced to go back up for more points, gets 2 20s. He will be just shy of the Cali Kid's total of 104 with 99 himself. And Cali, he's been aggressive all match, going after the 20s. His first dart missing, dropping back down to 17s. Looks like he only got 1, though. The third dart clipping right into that 2. Toaster back to work on the 20s. Oh, the first 2 have been left. All 3 are stacked on that wire. No score for the Tungsten Toaster. Back over to Cali Kid. He's nursing a 22-point lead, but that's going to help. And it looks like he got that 19 in there as well. It looks like it's going to be 7 for 4 for Cali Kid. Single 20, treble 20, and a treble 19 to close it. Only going to count for 4, but still huge darts for Cali Kid as he takes the lead in this leg at the later stages. Tungsten Toaster moving over to 16s as he only gets 2. Cali Kid had that slop 16 over earlier. First dart just below the treble into the next door neighbor, treble 7, but he can't get the wedge closed. He gets a single 16, but the third dart missing into the 7 as well. So the Toaster still has an avenue to score, and that third dart might be a deflection into the treble. Oh my goodness, it stayed out. You see it there. He shows it. It deflected into the treble, but it was the treble 8, not the treble 16. Cali, with 3 darts in hand, he gets the close with the second dart. Moving over to 15s now, finds 1 and 1, single 16, single 15. And Toaster, once again, scrounging, looking for anything to grab hold on in this leg. And it's a 5 mark to open up the 15s for the Toaster as he gets back out in front by a slim margin of 8, but potentially keeping Cali Kid at bay for a visit. Single 17, Cali missing the 15s with his second dart, drops back down to 17s, but missed with his third. So just the 117 for Cali Kid. That's a big dart for Toaster. And he will stay on 17s. Treble 15, back-to-back 5 marks for the Tungsten Toaster. 3 15s, 2 17s, got the 17s closed. So now Cali Kid has to go back to 16s to find points. He's only going to manage a single. So now Toaster has an opportunity to flip this leg on its head once again in the late stages, and he'll do it with the first dart, closing off the 16s, but he can't find the center of the board. He is up by 20. Over to Cali Kid. He's trailing by 20. That's a great dart into the bullseye. He's going to get 2 to start things off. Initially, it looked like he wanted to try to make it a bull race, but then changed his path after missing the 15s with his first dart. Looks like Toaster's trying to add some points, but he can't find the range on 15. Everything missing low into the 2 and off the board, and Cali has made it a bull race, and Cali takes the lead once again. It looks like he's 1 dart away from winning the leg. The third dart comes in low. Cali Kid's got the bulls closed. He needs 1. Toaster needs 3. All that's left is the center. Toaster with a good start. Can he get... He's got 1 dart. Needs the bullseye.
Oh.
Can't find it. A single bull for the Toaster. Cali Kid, 3 darts in hand, needing 1.
Got it.
And he'll clean it up with the last. The first dart was close. The second dart got farther away. He took half a second to recollect himself, but he sweeps Cricket with the third game shot in the leg. Going over to Cali Kid. He has the darts in hand as we move to the 501 portion. Game on. Cali with a tight grouping start with a 60 to get the 501 portion started. Slappy Pappy T80 in the chat going nutso. Back and forth down the stretch in that leg of Cricket. Cali Kid took the lead on the 17s, forcing Tungsten Toaster to the 15s. Had the 17s and 16s close. Tungsten Toaster battled back on the 15s and got the 17s and 16s closed with the lead to the bull, and Cali Kid comes back on the center and closes it up as Toaster was not able to add more to the point lead, had 3 darts added. Critical, but Cali Kid took advantage and punished. Cali Kid with his second 60 of the leg, 60-41-60 on the left side, 30-45 to start things off for Toaster on the right, and he'll go with a back-to-back 45. Another 60. Cali Kid keeping him straight here in this first leg of 501. Still got 23 viewers here for late night darting action here at the FODL. That's a yo 11 from the Tungsten Toaster, getting down to 370. And there it is. There's the breakfast from the Cali Kid. Single 5, single 20, and a single 1. Getting dumped in from the left side of the board. And as we do here in the FODL, we ask an official breakfast question for the first breakfast of every single match during the regular season. Which means I need to think of yet another breakfast question.
Wow.
It looks like 24 in there from the Toaster. Cali Kid cooled off from his steady start a little bit, just 36 here, but Toaster having a go of it here in the 501 portion. Maybe a little bit shook after the Cricket legs. Looks like he's going to try to rectify that here. Could be a ton 40. It's just a ton. That last dart coming in barely below the treble. Again, getting back into contention. Probably going to need another score. As Cali Kid, he's going to answer with a ton himself. So maybe just needing that boost. Feeling that his opponent was letting off the gas pedal. He let off the gas pedal himself, but Toaster is going to get right back on it here. Backs up the ton with a ton 25. Toaster coming in from out of nowhere. He's down to 106. Cali Kid requires 77. He's got one dart for tops. Just outside on the other side of the wire, left with 40. Tungsten Toaster looking to take out 106. He can't find the treble 17 for the bull shot. And it's just going to be 9 scored for Tungsten Toaster, down to 97. Cali sitting on 40. And he will get it with the second dart. Game shot and the leg to the Cali Kid as he starts this match off 3 on the bounce, on the skip, on the trot, on the go, on the run, on the fly. Basically, he's up 3-0. That's what I'm trying to say here. Tungsten Toaster looking to stop the trend. He's got darts in hand. Game on! And again, I turn to my kitchen. That's the word I'm looking for. As I try to think up a breakfast question.
I got one.
There's a 100 score from Cali Kid. He says he's got a breakfast question. All right, if he's got one, I'll defer.
I don't know if this might be one no one's asked, so that's why I wanted to. So,
that's a bold claim, but we'll see.
I know. So, breakfast. When you are sick, what is the one breakfast that you like to eat when you when you're not feeling good?
All right, there you go. 23 viewers in the chat. When you're not feeling well, feeling ill, sick, not hungover, because we asked that one earlier. That was the first one. So, legitimately sick, not hungover. 21 viewers out there. What's your go-to breakfast? Let me know. There's another 83. This Cali Kid is back in the treble 2 visits in a row. And Toaster's going to answer with a 95. So looked like maybe it's another slow start for Toaster, but a 95 looking to turn things around, turn the tide here, and get his 501 match started. That looks like a 60 in from Cali Kid, and he's off to a very good start at 81. Yota JMU in the chat saying Cali rolling. Slinger 180 rooting for Toaster saying Lego Dave. Conrad Dart saying plain bread. Magic Band 2614. Magic Band 2614, thank you for joining the chat. I don't know if I've seen yours here. Your username handle in there. So thanks for joining the chat and thanks for the answer. Eggs and toast. How are you cooking the eggs though? So let's get real specific, Magic Man 2614. Eggs and toast, how are you cooking the eggs? I love that sign that I just saw from the Tungsten Toaster. I caught it out of the corner of my eye as I was looking away from the screen of the chat. But that's great. That's good stuff. That show swept the Emmys or whatever it was for a lot of comedy things. I haven't actually watched a ton of it, but what I have seen, it's fantastic. Yota Jamie says nothing because I don't know why. Well, probably because he doesn't eat breakfast anyway, so he can't really differentiate from when he's sick versus when he's healthy. POTUS94 saying toast with peanut butter. Slap Happy T80, buttered toast. Pierce said 1 yerba mate, nothing solid. I don't know what is yerba mate. I don't know what that is. Cali Kid requires 132. It's off. It's going to be 40 scored. He'll be left with 92. Toaster looking to get to a finish from 180. And the 13 will do it. Albeit not great, Bob, but it's there at 167. Cali requires 92.
I know. I was trying to go for the double.
Wanted double tops, wanted double 20 to leave double 16. Missing outside, so he'll still be on 72. Looks like he's got the treble 1 on the last. He'll be left with 69. Nice. After scoring just 23. Not nice. Toaster requires 167. And it's off. He'll score 40. He'll be left with 127. Cali Kid requires 69.
Come on.
Cali Kid working hard, trying to set up the double 16. So he wanted the 18 there, slipped that one down into the 4. He will find the 14, though, so he does leave what he wants in the end. So he gets down to 32. Tungsten Toaster requires 127. It's very much on. He's got a dart at the pole. Oh, and what an attempt from the Toaster. That one narrowly missing into the green bit, left with 25. Cali Kid requires 32. Now to 24.
Got it.
But he will clean up the double 12 game shot and the leg going to Cali Kid. Tungsten Toaster giving the bull shot a run from 127, narrowly missing, and Cali Kid finishes on the next visit. He's up 4-0, looking to secure a victory. He's got darts in hand. Game on! Episode 1, Yerba Mate. So again, what is Yerba Mate? It's tea, I see. Herbal tea. Magic Man 2614 says he would go with over easy, but anyway, really. Elisard, thank you for joining the chat. Scrambled eggs when sick for sure. Episode 1 saying Cali making a statement. That is facts. Big time facts. There's a nice 85, so Tungsten Toaster getting off to a much better start in visit number 1 than he has in the previous 2 legs. There's a 28 scored from Cali Kid. So Toaster with some work to do to get back into this match. Again, could still potentially tie this one. Would need to win the remaining 4 legs, but the 85 start is beneficial. Extends the lead a little bit after Cali threw the 28 with the 45, but not massive punishment. Just 41 coming in from Cali Kid. So he is trying to get back into it. Tungsten Toaster looking to extend the lead, but starting to get a little bit loose. And there is another breakfast. So if you missed the breakfast question, 18 viewers, this will, coming to you from the Cali Kid. What is your go-to breakfast when you are feeling sick, ill, but not hungover? Not hungover. Hungover doesn't count because you already asked hungover earlier in the cast. So when you're actually feeling sick. There's a nice ton from the Cali Kid.
The question, I think.
There's a nice ton from the Cali Kid as he leapfrogs Toaster, but Toaster pouring it in a nice 60. Cali Kid back in the trouble bed, 81 scored. He's under 200 now. So now Toaster is trying to keep pace with Cali, and it's just going to be 25 for him, losing some darts left at the moment. Cali looking to keep rolling. And looks like 41, that third dart did stay in that skinny 20. Cali's on a finish at 150.
Perfect.
And that might be a 24, maybe a 22 from Toaster. It is a 22 Roadhouse. Cali Kid requires 150. It's off. 43 scored will be down to 107. Toaster had gotten off to a good start, has fallen off here, but that trouble will help him get back into it. That looks like a ton 34 from the Tungsten Toaster. Switching over to the 18s, it is ton 34, and he's right back in this leg now. Cali requires 107. First starts into the 3 down to 104. That's what Toaster is currently sitting on. Cali doing the math. Wanted the treble 18, but missed it just outside. So he will not have a shot at the bull, but he's still got 1 dart in hand. Try to figure out where he wants to go with this last. And it looks like he finds the treble 15. So that is going to be 66, I believe.
That's did my math wrong. Oh, well.
Cali Kid's down to 41. Tungsten Toaster requires 104. And he's going to score 36, so looked like he was going a good route from 104 there potentially, but didn't stay on the 16s. There's the one from Cali. Now looking for tops. He's inside. 21 scored. Take a drink. And he'll be left with the Rascal. Toaster's left with 68.
David.
Toaster able to find the 12 with his last. He's left with tops, but didn't get a shot at it. Cali requires the rascal.
Got it, second dart.
And he'll find double 5 after missing just inside. Game shot and the leg to the Cali Kid. And he will guarantee himself a match victory, up 5-0 now over the Tungsten Toaster. But again, we will play every leg with 3 legs to go. Points on the line. Toaster with darts in hand, looking to get anything going right now. Game on! Some crim eye rolls coming in the chat for that one. Yo to JMU saying, imagine if Cali learned math. How much more dangerous he would be. There's a 9 scored from the Toaster. Cali's going to attack that 9 with 60 of his own. Slinger again, rooting for Toaster, saying let go. Toaster, last season in C, finished with a top 10 FODL average over everybody. In FODL B, been a bit of a different story. So we'll see what the difference between the 2 seasons is. There's a surgical 7 from the Cali Kid. So both players with a single-digit turn in this one. But Tungsten Toaster, that nice ton with his second visit out in front. There's 45 to kind of split the difference for him. As Cali comes back to the board. And it looks like 43 in from the Cali Kid, so he'll be trailing thanks to the treble from the Tungsten Toaster. 45 back-to-back for Toasters. He comes in, he's down in the low 300s. Cali Kid's looking to join him there. It's going to be 66. So the first dart was gorgeous in that treble 20, but he couldn't follow it up with anything else, just a 5 and a 1. Toaster looking to do the same. Appears to be 95. This time he is able to get into the treble bed first dart. Slipped a little bit left in the treble 5, but recovered with a single 20 with his last 95 scored. Stretching the lead back out. Cali Kid answering with just 41, so he's still trailing. And this time it's Tungsten Toaster out in front, leading the pack, trying to get to an out first, trying to get something going, any kind of foothold going here. 58 scored for Toaster, down to 149. He's on a finish now after 18 darts. Cali Kid going to need some serious help to get there. That looks low into the single 20. 43 scored for him, still above 240. Toaster requires 149. 57 scored for Toaster. He drops down to 92. Cali's looking to get onto an out, slips into the 5, goes the wrong way, but it still doesn't stay straight, but he's still on and out at 156. Toaster requires 92. And Toaster's going to leave himself on tops. Found the double 17 with his second dart, single 17 with the last, leaves 40. Cali requires 156. It is off. Will not be able to take it out. Couldn't find the treble first dart. But he finds the treble with the third dart. He's down to 56, putting pressure on the Toaster. Toaster, 3 darts at double 20, inside to the rascal. That's inside as well, down to double 5.
Perfect.
All 3 darts inside. Toaster left with 5. Cali lurking at 56. That looks like it's into the 7. Cali wants double 16. He wants the double 16, has been trying to set it up all evening, gets a shot at it, misses outside, 32 left. Toaster requires 5. There's the 3. He wants the madhouse. Foregoing the 1 double 2, and he's going to bust with the second dart into the 18, back to Cali Kid, 32. That's inside, next door to double 8. And he'll find the double 8 with the second dart. Game shot, and the leg to Cali Kid, as he is now up 6-0, another break of throw. And Cali will come back to the board with darts in hand after that furious comeback. Game on! And 41 scored from Cali Kid there to get things going. Toaster had some good opportunities there. One turn that really set him off was essentially his one shot at double, where he was sitting on 40. Cali Kid had chased down with that big ton to leave 56, where Toaster went inside, and then left himself a 2-dart combo at a low number from 5. always tricky because even if you want to go for the 1 double 2, 20 and 18 is dead. If you want to go 3 double 1, 17 and 19 is dead. It forces you to be very precise down the stretch. 30 scored for Toaster back to back. Like a ton. That third dart sneaking into the corner of that treble 20 for Cali. He's left with an even 300 after 9. Toaster able to work in a 45, but still trailing. He's had a rough go of it this evening. We've seen flashes of good darts, and we've seen some pretty poor darts from Toaster. Looking for just a little bit of consistency on the right side of the board would have given him multiple opportunities in this one, but Cali Kid is charging right now in this penultimate leg, down to 219 with a 71 average, while Toaster languishing back with a 34 3-dart average. And Cali continues to punish. Looks like another 81 for him, and he'll get down to 138 on a finish after 15. Better darts from Toaster there. Solid 60 coming in, but he's still above 300. Cali requires 138. It's on. It's off now. Will not be able to get there. So the third dart comes in. As he scores 79, left with 59. Toaster requires doesn't require 306. Back at 306. There's a good third dart though for an 85. Maybe something to potentially build on, trying to go to the last leg. Cali's got 2 tops after the first dart into the 19. He only needs 1, though. Pop finish from Cali Kid. Game shot and the leg to the Cali Kid as he throws a 20 darter here in the second to last leg to go up 7-0. Toaster is looking to avoid the whitewash with darts in hand. Game on! There's a good start from the Toaster. 81 down to 420. Blaze it. Cali's going to answer back with a steady 60 of his own. So we've seen Cali doing it from all facets of the game. Power scoring, good finishing. Pretty good and very good cricket play. A lot of trebles in there. Back-to-back 81s for Toaster. So certainly still something to play for. 2 points and the pride of not taking the goose egg. There's an 81 to match for Cali Kid, but it's Toaster out in front with back-to-back 81s. Cali having that 60 of the first visit. Not like 60's bad, but Toaster is just punishing. That might be a ton 25. Wow, that's just a 45. Both of those darts were below the treble 20. Unbelievable. It looked like both of them were in. Cali will match with a 45 of his own. Both players starting to feel it here. The last leg, Toaster on a 69 average. Nice.
No pressure over here.
And it's a ton 25 for the Toaster. He was looking for his second maximum of the evening. He finds the 125, leaves him on a bogey, but he's out in front now. Just a 30, it looks like, from Cali Kid. Still above 280. Toaster looking for a good setup from 169. Toaster's going to be on a finish after 15. How good is it? It looks like it's just a breakfast score down to 143, but still on a finish after 15. Cali needs some big darts to get there. Won't be able to do it now after the second misses the treble. Needed 2. And there is a 41 down to 244. Toaster requires 143. That's on. Can't find the treble 17, giving that a good run, but does find the treble 15 with the last as the Toaster gets down to 21 remaining. Cali Kid back at 244. This is the Toaster that we saw all season last season in the summer season in FODL C, just absolutely dominating. He requires 21. There's a 5 looking for double 8. Just outside with the last, but he will be coming back to the board. Cali Kid not on a finish, back at 199. He'll be on a finish now. That appears to be an 81 for Cali Kid, but he's still above 100. Toaster requires double 8. And it's a first dart bust into the 16, so Cali's going to get a look for the 118 finish. It's off first dart, single one. It's going to be 41 scored from Cali Kid back over the toaster, 16. To get over the line, get one on the board.
Perfect.
And he cannot find it. So once again, oh no, and it's a total disaster. I thought that was in the double 16, but it's in the double 7, and Toaster's in the madhouse now. Cali had a dart at the 77 finish, missed into the 5. He'll be left with 35, but Toaster goes from double 8 to the madhouse just like that by finding the double 7. But he's going to find it with the first dart, and he escapes. Game shot and the leg to the Tungsten Toaster as he gets the last leg on the board, saves the whitewash, and gets 2 points tallied in for this game week. Again, may not mean much, but we've talked about it all evening, how close FODL B has been in the last couple seasons. Every leg matters, so that 2 points could be the difference down the stretch later this season, where he'll be thanking his lucky stars he was able to take out that madhouse. We'll go to the interview portion now of this match. We'll start with Toaster. Toaster, I know a little bit of scheduling. You guys, both of you played 2 matches this evening, and both of you in your first match finished pretty early, and our second match on cast ran late. Did that throw off the timing as far as warm-ups? How did that affect you, maybe with a little bit of fatigue coming into this one?
I mean, it was normal. A little bit of a break before the match, so it shouldn't have really done anything for me. I should have been ready, and I wasn't.
I don't even know if you weren't, because coming out in cricket, both of you guys in the early goings of cricket, I mean, honestly, both cricket legs were an absolute battle going back and forth. Both of you threw very well in cricket. It's really in 501. It just kind of got away from you there. So, cricket was great. What happened in that drop-off? Was it playing great in both legs of cricket and seeing both of them still go to Cali? Did that kind of give you a little bit of a blow going into 501?
Yeah, it's never good to start off 0-2. I thought I played all right in those legs, but there was a couple of turns where you just got to hit the single mark to close something, and I put all 3 low. I got 15, but I did it 2 or 3 times. It's just you can't do that. Can't expect to win if you're going to do that. So that hurt a little bit, and I just didn't have a rhythm and didn't feel well. I played terrible, I guess.
I mean, these things will happen. Obviously, FODL B, very competitive and certainly not out of it yet. I referenced it last season in FODL C. You were an absolute monster, and finishing with a top 10 FODL average, off to a little bit of a rough start here as you get back into FODL B. Is it a little bit of nerves maybe about the level of competition that happens in FODL B versus FODL C, where we're seeing a little bit of difference in the level where your game is right now?
I mean, you got to go into every match here in B, and you're going to have a tough opponent. So, yeah, that's on me a little bit, but really it's just hitting doubles. I haven't been able to hit double. Not so much in this match, but my match earlier today was same story. You can't hit a double, and that'll kill your average every time. My scoring wasn't here this game at all, so Cali played good, but I don't think I really gave him a fight at all.
Well, might have a chance to get back on track as you'll face a familiar FODL C foe next week. You've got Barboy on the schedule, so maybe that's the match that gets you going, gets you back into that mode. What's the game plan to get ready for that one?
Well, it's tomorrow, so I don't really have a lot of time. I just get some warm-up during the day and hopefully throw better than I did just now. So sorry, everybody watching. That was a pitiful display. And here, I'll show it one more time. You just gross.
I like how you've got that all over where I'm assuming basement. So, ew, David.
You.
Picking up a leg, always critical here in FODL B. So we're able to get one on the board. Obviously not the performance you wanted this evening, but Toaster, we know what kind of darts you have in you. Good luck the rest of the way. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the season.
Thanks, Radar. Cheers, and nice shooting, Cali.
Hey, good match.
We'll go over to Cali Kid. Cali, this is FODL 2020. I don't want to sound rude. This might be the shock of the fall 2020 season right now, the way you've gotten off to this hot start after last season, being in that mix of maybe relegation, maybe fighting out of it, but you were able to fight your way back in, and now you're sitting near the top. What's been the difference for you this season compared to last season?
I'm throwing my dart straighter. I don't miss the 20 as much, I feel like, and when I'm hitting, I'll hit my double. I'll hit my treble. So my misses are I'm usually scoring between 60, usually 60 points more. So I'm getting less of those small numbers. So my scoring's been there. But I know you asked me last week what I needed to do in my next match is doubling. I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, doubling was definitely more on par. And again, you also played a match right before this one. You had Barboy. Did that kind of affect you in any way as far as, maybe it's a longer time that you would normally throw? Maybe your practice routine was off or your warm-up routine was off, getting ready for your first match or even this match, knowing that you had to play two.
Yeah, I didn't want to play two, but I made it happen. We had to make it work this way because I'll be out of town. Which is fine. So I didn't really warm up for the first match because I know if I throw too many darts later on, like this match, for instance, if it was as quickly as it was, like it was back to back, and if I would have warmed up like I normally do for my first match, then I'd be tired by the second match and I'd be doing worse. So I only threw maybe for a few minutes before my first match. And I was able to do pretty well in that one, and then the break in between was fine. So I just got back up here, threw darts for about 5 minutes, and just went at it. So
we saw in 501, the scoring was on point, the doubling was on point. I want to talk about the cricket legs because especially that first one, he came out like a cannon, especially with that 9 mark in the second round. But you were completely unfazed and threw it right back at him. What did it take, knowing that both of those legs really turned into an absolute battle, and there were crucial turning points back and forth to not get down and be like, oh, well, shit, that's the turning point, and how am I going to come back from there?
Yeah, no, those cricket legs were something else. The fact that when I saw him through the 9 mark, I mean, that can be pretty deflating, when someone throws a 9 mark against you and they all count. And especially when you have to play catch up. But I just kind of just focused on just throwing the darts, try to hit the treble, don't worry about it. I've been pretty accurate with my throw-in lately, so I can pretty much pinpoint right around the treble, I feel like, for the most part. So I just kind of kept my head just focused on just throwing my darts and not worrying about his score, because we all know if you got to get to the point with bulls. And in my last match, I was throwing my bulls pretty well. So I'm like, worst case, if I get to a bull race, I think I can overcome it. On that second leg, I had to use those bulls to get it.
Well, looking forward into next week, you got Deadhead Darter on the schedule. Both you and he, game weeks 1 and 2 now, because I believe the Barboy match was your floating game week 1. Both you and he.
No, this was the floating game week 1, right?
This was the floating game week 1. Well, whatever. You've got 2 7-1 victories. He's got 2 7-1 victories. Both of you near the top of the standings and playing well. He didn't really double well, but he scored well this evening. What's the game plan? What do you need to do to get ready for that potentially top of the FODL B division matchup?
I mean, really, it's just the same thing. Am I going to do anything different than I have? Nope, not at all. I just have to, like, my double has been showing up. I've just been really confident. Honestly, that's the biggest thing. I just have a lot of confidence when I'm stepping up on the hockey, and I just feel good when I'm throwing it. So for me, if I can score decently, hit some trebles, and then if I can double out and not give anyone a chance to double out, which is kind of what I did tonight. I think Deadhead and we played before, and I think he took the one last time, but it was pretty close. So I know we're both capable of making this a 4-4, 5-3 type kind of a match. I don't see it going an extreme. It's going to be either 4-4 or 5-3, one way or the other. It just depends on whose double-in shows up. Hopefully it's going to be mine.
Well, I am looking at the standings right now. With you having the 3 matches played, with the excellent darts you're playing right now, you are sitting on top. Deadhead is currently sitting number 2, trailing you by 10 points. So pretty good margin right there, although you do have a match in hand. But again, that one should be an absolute barn burner. Cali Kid, congratulations on the victory this evening. Good luck the rest of the way, except for when you play me, obviously, and we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Appreciate it, Radar. Thanks for casting. Always enjoy. I think you should just cast me for Deadhead, since I'm now 7-1 in both of my matches that you casted this season. So I think we need to make sure that happens when I play Deadhead next week.